The number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
All right, good evening, folks. Welcome to tonight's live stream. What do we have tonight? Well, we have the stock market experts explaining today's glitch in air quotes glitch. So let's see, without further ado, let's get into it.
I think it's time to blow this.
His music, not mine. Here he is. The Butcher Portfolios. Boss Blunts.
So fucking rich. Get the fucking money printer out, Jerome Powell.
Gonna be so
You are gonna need it.
freaking rich.
We're seeing stocks and equities markets collapse around us. This morning, 80 plus stocks mysteriously posted massive moves and were halted by the New York Stock Exchange. McDonald's traded all the way down to 236.
Model 3 dude, glad you are in the house.
268.
How you doing?
$268 with 32 cents. That's $55 billion worth of market cap swinging in a fraction of a second. This happened at 9:30.15 in the morning a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check that out. Huge swing for McDonald's there. Just massive drop. And they're not the only stock. There was over 200
Sir,
stocks.
this is a Wendy's.
250 different stocks. And they are just a few of those that were halted. There was over 81 stocks that were completely halted with limit up, limit down halts. Got to move that alert box real quick. Excuse me, wrong button. Need to get that out of your way so it doesn't pop up right in the middle of the screen every single time.
Look at all those tabs. Holy crap.
Let's expand this a little bit. Now the New York Stock Exchange is going to bust these trades. That's what they call them. They call them busted. So we're going to have hundreds of trades. No, I'm sorry. Thousands and thousands of trades are busted on the New York Stock Exchange. That means that they have been canceled. So can you imagine what it would be like to make money or lose a ton of money and then have those shares canceled?
Oh, it would
Even
suck
worse.
if you
For a
lost
trade
money
to
and
occur,
had the trades
and you're
canceled.
left with an open short position without even intending to do so because of a cancellation. Major stocks impacted were Morgan Stanley, Verizon, AT&T, Nike, McDonald's, AMC, and others. Many stocks were shown to have abnormally large moves when the market opened, which may have triggered volatility halts, according to CNBC. The New York Stock
There it
Exchange
is.
said it
The
by
first
roughly 9:50
inclination
a.m. all of its
of the
systems were operational.
conspiratorial mind
This is
of
absolute
Boss
bullshit.
Blunts.
There is no way that this should ever be happening on the stock market. And I'll show you that the last
I
time
agree
this
with
happened
that. It shouldn't
was
happen.
during the 2008 global financial collapse. On January 24th, 2023, due to a system issue, the New York Stock Exchange issued a statement that said, the NYSE did not conduct opening auctions in a subset of its listed securities. The system issue resulted in continuous trading of those securities commencing at 9:30 a.m. without an opening auction print. As a result, a number of core trading session trades occurred prior to the receipt of limit up, limit down bans, halts, regulatory LULD halts as they're known. These trades are eligible under NYSE Rule 7.1 to be reviewed as clearly erroneous, which means they're going to cancel those trades. Those trades are busted. That's the actual term for it, by the way, from the New York Stock Exchange. The exchange has determined on its own motion that any trades in NYSE listed symbols that did not conduct an opening auction and both occurred after 9:30 in the morning, but before the receipt of the LULD bans, and executed at a price further from the reference price, defined by the same NYSE Rule 7.1, than the percentage
I'm
parameters,
just letting him
will be declared null
talk here.
and void. For each impacted symbol, the attached spreadsheet identifies the time the exchange received the limit up, limit down bands and the price range above and below which executions will be busted. Again, that means canceled. In addition, for those securities that did not conduct an opening auction and entered LULD before 9:30:45, the exchange is evaluating marking the trades as aberrant on the consolidation tape. This action will eliminate those executions from the calculation of the day's high or low price. The consolidated tape adjustments will be processed after close. This is a letter, or should I say a message, that one of the users here in Boss Blunt's think tank happened to receive. And it said that please be aware that the NYSE has experienced technical issues this morning between 9:30 and 10 a.m. Eastern Time, resulting in some orders being improperly executed. The exchanges are reviewing the situation and will provide a ruling shortly.
So far, this is pretty factual.
However, if you look up the 81 stocks that were halted on the Securities Exchange Commission website, sec.gov, you will find two companies that own all of these stocks. And that would be one, BlackRock,
However,
and two,
right.
Rolex funds. This is extremely important because I don't believe that this happened due to
Here we go.
erroneous opening
Here we go.
prices. I believe it was purposefully done by different market players, whether it be BlackRock, Global X, another company that trades on the New York Stock Exchange, or even a Chinese or other entity based in Europe or Asia that decided to sell off a mass number of their stocks.
Mm-hmm.
If you look up Global X funds, they're owned by Mirae Asset Global Investments. And I put this out there for the retail community to look into it themselves, that BlackRock and Mirae are the only two funds that own the 81 tickers, all of 81 of the tickers that were halted today with the LULD halts. You guys can look into that on your own. Mirae Asset Global Investments and BlackRock. Why? Another reason that hints at the fact that this was not accidental. This morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, within 26 minutes, three of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchanges were shuffling $230 million of transactions repeatedly via unknown wallets. Circle, Coinbase, and Binance.
So, dude just named the whole world as possible conspirators. You know, it's funny you say that because I have something on that too. Oh, I have something on that. So, this is a list of all of the entities that the apes have gripes with. So these are all the conspirators. Kenneth Cordell Griffin, Jeff Yass, Stevie Cohen, Larry Fink, Steven Schwartzman, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, SBF, of course, Caroline Ellison, Gary Gensler, Jerome Powell, Janet Yellen, George Soros, Lloyd Blankfein, David Solomon, Ben Bernanke, Jamie Dimon, Brian Moynihan, Jane Fraser, Charles Scharf, Shill Cramer, Andrew Ross Sorkin, Klaus Schwab, Noah Harari, Thomas Petterfy. I thought they liked Thomas Petterfy. Doug Sifu, Citadel, Susquehanna, Point 72, BlackRock, Blackstone, all the blacks, not all the blacks, Vanguard, Capital One, State Street, Jane Street. You can see their, I love these lists because you can see their thought process, like Blackstone or BlackRock. Oh, Blackstone, yes, of course. State Street, yeah. Oh, Jane Street, right. Apollo Global Management, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, B of A, Citi. Now we're getting all the banks. Citi, Wells Fargo, BCG, McKinsey, Bain Capital, FTX, MIT, SEC. Now we get the alphabet soup. Fed, Department of the Treasury, Wallenberg, Walton, Warburg. We get 3 W's. DuPont, Morgan, Oppenheimer, Rhodes, Bush, Maxwell, Carey, Astor, Bundy, Collins, Freeman, Kennedy, Rockefeller, Lee, Onassis, Russell, Van Doyne, Rothschild, House of Bernadette, Sweden, House of Bourbon, France, House of Brazanga, Portugal, House of Grimaldi, Monaco, House of Guelph, Britain, House of Habsburg, Austria, Hanover, Germany, Hohenzollern, Germany. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Yugoslavia, Liechtenstein, Nassau, Oldenburg, Orange, Savoy, Wettin, Wiedesbach, Württemberg, House of Zogu, Albania, DARPA, Gavi, CERN, WEF, World Economic Forum, of course, EU, NATO, and UN. Liquidate them all. Power to the players. That is your list of conspirators. So it pretty much covers everybody, but thanks for bringing that up, Badback. It was Art Vandelay. Yeah, the architect, right? He's the architect, yeah? All right.
Alright, guys, the
Oh,
ticker
wrong one. Where did it go? Oh, where did it go? What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Where did it go? Where did he go? I lost him. Okay. I lost him. How did that happen? Well, anyway, we got Boss Blunts. Now, we were just starting to get into his conspiratorial stuff. That's what I wanted to hear. So, here we go. We'll have to find where we were. Oh,
This was
perfect.
not accidental. This morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, within
All right,
26
cool.
minutes, 3 of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchanges
I mean, we might as well throw the ass man in there too. You know, let's throw the ass man in there as well.
were shuffling $230 million worth of transactions repeatedly via unknown wallets. Circle, Coinbase, and Binance. They repeatedly sent each other $230 million worth of cryptocurrency between each other. From Coinbase to unknown, from unknown
Yeah,
to
it's not a
USDC Treasury,
crypto exchange. That's
USDC
correct.
Treasury to Binance. And you can see the whale alert transactions of 230 million USDC transferred. That's 230,974,750 US dollars, give or take a few, based on the timing of the transfer. This all occurred within 26 minutes, and it was
Clearly, it was this guy.
This time here is on Reddit. This was posted on Wall Street Silver, but this here is not Eastern time. This is someone overseas that saw this, and that's why they're in the past / the future. And for us, it was 6 a.m. Within 26 minutes, these 3 cryptocurrency exchanges repeatedly transferred this between themselves. Global X funds, Global X NASDAQ 100 covered call ETF, is the exchange traded fund that held this, QYLD. QYLD and BlackRock are 2 of the funds that hold these 82 specific stocks. Yes, somebody said liquidity crisis. This is a major liquidity crisis because the last time that this happened was in 2012 when Knight Capital pretty much nearly went insolvent and had to be purchased out by many other market players to prevent their insolvency. And when else did it happen before that? Well, it happened October 14th, 2008. 15 days before the rise of Volkswagen to its all-time highs.
On the Toronto Stock Exchange.
Halted on a technical issue.
Hmm.
A computer glitch in July of 2008, just months before the collapse of September 2008, a computer glitch halted trading of bonds and stock index futures on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. And then on September 8th, about 3 weeks prior to the
he's
global financial
trying to
collapse,
lay the case here that
in Malaysia,
it was
trades were halted over glitches.
Intentional.
Knocked out the New York Stock Exchange.
The problem is
devices on August 7th of 2008.
There's no evidence that any of these things were intentional or nefarious. So giving a bunch of examples of other glitches is not really valid.
And on September 19th, 2008, about 10 days before...
Look at this, 102 downvotes.
The SEC,
that's more than I thought it would get.
In concert with the United Kingdom Financial Services Authority, took
Prime. Kiwi Girls got it. Prime.
Selling in financial companies to protect the integrity and quality of the securities
Prime.
market. Said. The SEC halted short selling of financial stocks to protect investors and markets. September.
And guess what happened after they halted short selling? I mean, that's not the same kind of halt, by the way. I don't know why he's talking about this. That's not the same kind of halt. Those stocks went down. Those stocks actually went down when they halted short selling. So it didn't work. It didn't work. That's why I say now, today, we need a short selling ban. If we want the market to go down, because it needs to go down, just ban short selling. It'll make the market go down. Okay.
19th of 2008.
I'm half kidding.
November 8th of 2008, the FTSE ground to a halt. Trading on the London Stock Exchange ground to a halt after a technical glitch froze the market. This, of course, happened moments after the market opened, and then they had it fixed about 10 minutes after that. The mainstream
so it seems like he said. It seems like he said. I mean, Model 3. Hey, the financial stocks that were banned short selling, they went down. So I'm just using logic. We want the market to go down. Just ban short selling. But it didn't achieve the objective of protecting investors really in 2008. Anyway, where was I going? Oh, it seems like he is cherry picking episodes in which computer glitches led to erratic pricing in 2008. So yeah, I know. I mean, yeah. Ape logic. Let's call it that. Now I'm not going to sit here and look up every incident. But this paragraph here that he's talking about was the night trading incident in August 2012, which didn't, I guess, have anything to do with 2008. So I don't know. Anyway,
stating that this is due to.
This seems like cherry picking. All of the previous slide, all those examples, seems like cherry picking. It would warrant more investigation. Say it that way.
Order pricing. That may have been the case, but I don't believe that it is strictly due to the fact that they forgot to place their opening orders. There is something more nefarious happening here. Either margin calls are going out amongst some of these big
margin calls,
or it is something even much more.
Margin calls are going out.
The New York Stock Exchange is probing what causes wild price swings this morning and trading halts when the market opened on Tuesday, as shares for dozens of the biggest United States companies plunged. 251 stocks on the NYSE will have orders canceled, aka busted by the new NYSE, and 81 stock tickers, including the world's most famous and heavily shorted meme stocks, such as AMC, were halted via these LULD halts. And it's a really big deal to bust these trades, especially because it was during open market hours. If you bought shares at the open with an OPG order, and then those shares you sold those shares for a profit and your buy gets busted, you are now short a trade. Yes, you have just now created a naked short position without intending on it because you bought shares, sold shares, and then your trade got canceled. So depending on what price you bought and sold, you could have just sold naked puts, aka naked shorted the market without even wanting.
No. No, 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 no. Naked puts.
To do so. Every day on the NYSE at 9:30 a.m. there's only one single opening price, and it's determined by thousands of orders.
I think it was. It wasn't my kid screaming in the background.
These are aggregated into a single book for each stock that gauges overall supply and demand. A single price is then quoted at the open, and all orders are aggregated into this single opening auction print. Oftentimes, limit up, limit down bands are published immediately after a stock opens. That determines at what price a stock will be halted due to volatility. If it trades above or below the bands, it is halted. At least 84, not 81, 84 or more stocks at the NYSE were halted within seconds after the open, which triggered these LULD bands. Now, supposedly, many orders to buy and sell stocks did not make it into the order book that determines this opening price, and that the opening auction print did not happen in those stocks affected. But that is not proof that this was anything more than a massive sell-off by market players, or the cancellation of buy orders from many market players, thus leaving the order book auctions completely volatile. The effect was that many stocks opened on very low volume. As you can see here with Wells Fargo this morning, dropped from $45 to $38, and then back after the halt was lifted. They traded on very low volume due to the supply and demand imbalance that opened at prices far away from their closing price from Monday. It appears that the NYSE cleared their book on a number of stocks right at the open, hence so many OPG cancellations. With no liquidity on the book, any marketable orders sent after 9:30 a.m., even those sent at 9:30.15 and 9:30.16, could have executed at prices significantly away from the close. In summary, many New York Stock Exchange orders were incorrectly canceled at 9:30 a.m., or they were canceled nefariously, or there was a sell-off of those orders by market players, knowing that today we had some very key earnings reports. The remaining orders executed at erroneous prices, supposedly erroneous prices, because retail traders were chasing that stock up and down.
Good evening, Lynn.
To get their order to fill, and those other orders that went through at market orders, because there are a lot of OPG, market orders placed, and this triggered the.
Lynn's a douchebag.
Stocks traded erroneously on other exchanges between 9:30.00 and 9:30.16 before the LULD halts kicked in. Now, what this means is if a BlackRock fund or another fund was margin called, they would have to dump all their
margin called
selling to generate cash needed to close out the short positions that caused the margin call. If a highly over-leveraged fund had to do so, they would be selling everything in the fund, much like the QYLD possibly or BlackRock funds that are owned by global.
Get into some more speculative shit. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
In addition, other stocks like AMC prior to the market open had an average cost to borrow around 250 average percent, which is massive, and a maximum of 268%, which is even more massive. The minimum was at 240%. Just minutes after the market open, the stock market crashed, as we all know, and major sellers dumped their holdings or canceled their buy orders.
It crashed. Okay, sure. Yeah, it crashed, right? What happened after that? What happened after it crashed? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking at the SPY, but I mean, yeah, of course, yeah, it's down 0.11%, but I mean, it didn't really crash.
And the New York Stock Exchange called it a glitch. The market was halted as AMC rose, and now, moments after the stock market
Ah,
reopened and after this
right.
glitch, AMC ran up to nearly $6 a share,
Actually went
and
over
then got
6.
heavily shorted to bring it back down. This is evidenced
How does
and
he know
proven by
that?
the fact
How does he know that it got heavily shorted then? There's no way to know that. You can speculate on it. Yeah, damn glitches. They're killing the Moass. But hey, the glitch proves that the Moass is real. We'll get there. Um, I mean, hell, this looks like a typical AMC opening. What what looks nothing looks weird about this opening to me. It's funny.
that minutes later, the average cost to borrow of AMC is now at 312%. It increased from 250.89% prior to the open to just
So
moments
from
later,
something massive to something
312.13%,
more
the average
massive.
cost to borrow. The maximum went from 268% before market open to 327.95%.
Breaking the bank.
Surprise. Because oftentimes, this is got caught with their pants down. This here proves that there is not enough liquidity and not enough
Oh, does it?
stock
What is this?
for sale on
Oh,
the
we got a Webull order book.
exchanges were at ridiculous prices. So when the stock reached $6 a share, there was very little liquidity left on the order book. Therefore, there was almost nobody selling, but tons of nobody buying, I meant to say, at those prices.
Oops.
But there was tons of people selling between $8,000 and $21,000 per share.
Jesus
You can see here
Christ.
48 orders for sale for $94.89, 73
How many shares traded?
73 shares for sale at $9,500 a share.
How many shares traded at 9,500 a share today? How many shares
30 at
Jesus.
96, 100 at 96.69 with 5 cents, and so on, all the way to 20,987 because there was not sufficient sellers of AMC. The market makers and short hedge funds got caught with their
Guess
pants
what?
down. This
Not a single share was executed at any price above what it should have been.
here proves that there is not enough liquidity and not enough
Proves.
available shares of stocks
Proof.
like AMC
Proof.
and GameStop and such. But here specifically, we're talking about AMC to meet the
course.
demand required during a stock market crash situation. And as I proved to you earlier,
That's a bit of a
the
stretch.
last time that we had these issues,
Yeah, exactly.
well,
There's limit order. He's looking at the limit order book. I mean, those are probably apes that put in those orders, right? I don't know. Jesus.
was in 2008. Immediately.
That's why I say 0 shares were traded at any of those prices. So, I mean, hell, I was looking at the I remember looking at on Schwab I want to say last summer was summer of 2021, looking at the limit order book on there, and it has a pretty good aggregated limit order book. And yeah, there were shares listed all the way up to whatever the top was, which was way high. And then also on the other side was down to like a penny. So no shares got traded at those levels.
Before the global financial collapse, where we saw stock market lows on the SPY, and immediately before, also in October, immediately before we saw the all-time highs of Volkswagen. Volkswagen only owned 88%. Sorry, Volkswagen only owned 55% by Porsche of the float, whereas retail investors own over 85% of the float of AMC. There is much less liquidity on AMC currently because retail investors hold such a large percentage of the float, not including all the synthetic shares and the rehypothecations.
Of course, not
et
including
cetera.
those. No.
But much higher percentage of the float is owned by retail than ever was by Porsche during the 2008 all-time highs, where they reached an agreement with short sellers.
Well, there it is. Moass is real. Because
and
because
market makers
because
and settled for
Volkswagen.
$1,000 a share. Here's the NBBO, National Best Bid and Offer, level 2 order book data for AMC immediately during the market halts. The clearly erroneous execution rule 128 states that regular trading hours of the exchange numerical guidelines greater than 10% and after hours greater than 20% would allow for them to make these sorts of cancellations. They're multi-stock events, filings involving 5 or more but less than 20 securities whose executions occurred within a period of 5 minutes or less. They have 10% changes there, etc. And leveraged ETFs during regular trading hours multiplied, the regular trading hours of the exchange numerical guidelines multiplied it by the leverage multiplier, and after hours here as well. They say that except in the context of a multi-stock event, an individual security trading pauses pursuant to their Rule 80CA1 AI. An officer may also consider additional factors to determine whether an execution is clearly erroneous.
Oh shit, I found the
Limited
smoking
to
gun.
system malfunctions,
I just
or
found the
disruptions,
smoking gun.
volume, and volatility for the
I'm
security.
gonna have to bring this
Derivative
window in.
securities
Oh
products,
my
of course,
god.
on
I
greater
can't
than
believe
100%
nobody else has
in the
brought
direct.
this up yet. Holy shit. All right. Um, 1 second here. Let me get this this window happening here. So let's see. Right. We're gonna be looking at Fidelity Active Trader Pro, everyone's favorite platform. But all right. So everyone's favorite platform here. And so I got AMC, and this is the option statistics. And here's the time and sales window. So this is what I was looking at here. So I got it filtered down to 9:30, between 9:30 and 0 seconds and 9:31 and 0 seconds. This is wild. It's about to be wild. Okay. So, okay, right, 569 or 603. So it opened at 603, it says. And that's consistent with this, although it says 601, but anyway, 603, 601, 2,000 shares, yada yada, all, the typical. This all looks good so far. So far, so good. Page upping, paging up. All right, that's all typical. These are, I don't know, these are off exchange trades for $5.7188 going up. Oh, there was 2,900 shares at 571. But here's where it gets really interesting. Look at this. This is when the weirdness happened, I believe. They said, didn't he say 16 seconds, 15 seconds, something like that. So here it is, 9:30 and 16 seconds. 571.88, one share off exchange, DF, exchange code. Bid price 0, ask price 12. Then we get into these. Bid price 0, ask price 50,000. 50,000. All those. And let's go ahead 1 minute. This proves the Moass is real. See? It's not any type of glitch. I mean, obviously this is the actual numbers. This is what's in the print of the time and sales. 931, 932. Okay, no trades there because it was halted. So that would, what would be 935, I guess. Or is it still 935? Okay, let's go back. 934. I can't believe nobody has brought this up. I mean, this is like smoking gun evidence here for these guys. I mean, this is way, I feel like you could grift off this way better than looking at some Weeble shit, right? This is Fidelity. Fidelity's real, supposedly, but Fidelity's FUD though. 9:35 and 41 seconds. That's when it appears to come back. And it's back to normal. It looks like it's back to normal. It's back to normal, back down to $5. But wow, isn't that crazy? All those trades. Now it's just saying that the ask price is 50,000. Zero bid. But the actual price of execution was 571 on these if they were even actual trades that happened. Here's what it should have been probably 571 and 570. And somebody, I mean, it's indicating that it was over the ask price, but anyway, how can this clown think that 90% theft of retail shares is a good thing? If you have 1,000 shares, you will now have 100. I mean, this is a basic concept, okay? This is a basic concept. So you own a certain number of shares, sure, and the price is whatever it is, sure. The number of shares that you have times the price of those shares that you paid for them, let's just say, or times the price that they're currently trading at now. That's called your equity. That's your equity. That's how much capital you have in that stock. Okay. When things like splits happen, reverse splits, your equity does not change. Your equity does not change. Okay. So this nonsense about theft, uh, stealing 90% of shares, all this kind of stuff, it's false. It's FUD. It's nonsense.
Of a tracking index, news released for the security, whether trading in the security was recently halted or resumed, whether the security is an IPO, blah, 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 blah. Basically, what it's saying, that each additional factor shall be considered with a view toward maintaining a fair and orderly market and the protection of investors and the public interest. And when they say the public interest, they mean themselves. Randall Cornett checked out the New York Stock Exchange.
Did boss say something wrong? Scott, do tell. Rewind the stream and listen and see what I said. I mean, I'm not going to go back over what I said. But yeah, there was definitely some conspiratorial, unsubstantiated talk. But I actually said, if you go back and listen to what I said, I said, and I think Model 3 dude and whoever else was here can corroborate this. I said he seems to be following the facts pretty well so far at that point. So, I'm not sure what the implication there is. Let's see. Once pretends he owns multi-million-dollar companies, yet he sold $4,000 worth of AMC to buy more ape. Sure, more than one YouTuber is on someone's payroll. Yes, you still have the same pizza. Yeah, so if you have a pizza, the pizza is the company. You cut it into two pieces, two big pieces, or you cut it into 12 pieces. The same amount of pizza total. Okay, same amount of pizza. The market cap is not changing. So that also necessarily means that your equity does not change. The number of shares really is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. I know the apes want to think that, they own all the shares. Well, you don't own all the shares, first of all. Number two, owning all the shares itself is irrelevant because the float, the number of shares, is not the same. That number is not the same as the number of positions that are established in terms of having equity exposure to the company. It's just not the same. It's not one-to-one. I've been trying to say this for months, if not years at this point. But the float is not the same number as the number of positions or equity exposures to the positions. And that's not crime. That's not any fuckery. That's just the way it is. Yes, you can't sell a car more than once. Only one person can physically own a car at a time. Yes, Wes Christian, you're right. You can't Xerox a car title and sell it multiple times. That would be fraud. True, that's true. But it's a faulty analogy because we're not talking about physical product here. We're talking about a financial instrument. Financial instruments are different. And this has been established for hundreds of years. Like this is nothing new. So anyway, yes, and then he said, however, right? He did because you said because you Model 3 dude called it out right here. However, so anyway, I'm a rock. What are you trying to say? That you beat scissors. PCB mid, not okay. All right. Bullshit. What is bullshit? I don't know what is bullshit here. Your equity doesn't change. The number of shares is not the same as the number of equity exposures to the float. That's true. You don't own all the float. That's also true. I'm not sure what's bullshit. Wake up. I'm awake. I've been awake since 4:30, baby. All right. Anyway, but ask excuse me, ask price of 50,000. That's wild. But it's also erroneous. Let's do this real quick, and then we'll go back to what you call it, which I realized I was still over here. Get this centered up. Option chain. Okay. So what are we looking at here? Let's look at this week. Okay. Let's see. Volume of 22,000 on the $6 calls and 32,000 on the $5 puts. Also, if you look down here, they show it as call to put ratio. Most people would express it as the put to call ratio, but the ratio of calls to puts is in favor of the puts, 2.6 to 1. So that's interesting. That's interesting. Who are all these people buying puts on AMC? I don't know. Maybe the apes? I don't know. Don't think so. Okay, that's enough of boss blunts, right? It will cancel some trades. Yeah. So by and large, I give boss blunts a solid B on this. Let's see here.
Take a look at the tape for VZ. Dennis Dick, this Triple D trader, says VZ tape is a nightmare. It's like
everyone needs more yogurt in their life.
Executed at different prices. Many opening orders were kicked out of the system entirely. And you can see here on Verizon, some trades were executing as low as $32.79 for buys, and then sells for $44.72.
Nobody cares if you keep your AMC or not. Okay, it's not that's not anybody's objective here. We want you to do what you want to do. Okay, but I feel, hell, I'll say it. I feel that people should have factual information to make decisions, whatever that decision is. It doesn't matter. It matters not to anybody here. Nobody here cares. Nobody's got any stake in it. Nobody cares what anybody does with their shares of any company. Let me make that clear. However, when you have people, and I'm not saying that Boss Blunts is doing it here. I'm not saying that he's doing it here. When you have these guys giving false information on a daily basis, just making shit up, okay? Don't you want to know if something is true or not? Don't you want to know if something is true or not? I mean, seriously, why would you not want to know if what somebody has told you is true or not? That's all I'm trying to do. And if whatever, you'll keep your AMC. Good. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Stop acting like you know what you're talking about with your bullshit conspiracies and crybaby bitching. Learn the market. Conspiracies don't equal facts. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, right. Because, here's the other thing. Why would anybody trust the AMC crowd, these guys, with anything going forward? Haven't they proven that they don't give accurate predictions? I don't know. I mean, in my book, somebody proves themselves by being right or giving correct information, factual information. I mean, how many times have they been wrong? Anyway, okay, all right. I'm gonna, yeah, diversify. There's millions of ways, plenty of ways to lose money in the market. All right, so let's move on. We're going to move on to one of our favorites, Scabby.
Guys, what is going on? I hope everyone's having a fantastic Tuesday. What a weird morning that most traders in the market encountered this morning. And even if you're not a day trader and you're holding AMC or holding a certain stock or many stocks,
True,
you
that's
still went
facts,
through this
Tony.
morning, even though you may have not have actually seen it, right? So there was a very strange technical glitch that occurred this morning that nobody has a reason for. They're calling it a glitch. The New York Stock Exchange is calling it a glitch. The SEC's launched an investigation into it, which we know how that'll end because the SEC's complicit. But
oh God, I don't know if I can handle that, Pet Rock.
got
Shit.
halted right off the get-go. And when we look at AMC ripped up today
Right off the Gordon Gecko.
all the way almost to the 590 range today. So AMC had a big rip. But got halted right off the get-go. Walmart got halted. Walmart ran all the way up to $152, down from $142. So had a huge rip too. But all these stocks glitched today. You had this huge amount of volume come in for all these stocks, and all of a sudden glitch. And when the glitch was over and the halts opened up, everything dropped back down to the pre-market levels. It was a very, very strange event that took place today.
So the way he explained it,
traders and Wall
the way he framed it is there was this thing that happened and this stuff went haywire, and then then it was halted because it ran up or down too much. And then when the halt commenced, then halt happened, halt ended, and things went back to where they were pre-market. So he's making it sound like uh, no harm, no foul. This happened, and then it went back to normal. And that's what it seems like he's saying.
Down. All of a sudden glitch, and when the glitch was over and the halts opened up, everything dropped back down to the pre-market levels. It was a very, very strange event that took place today. Something that traders and Wall Street have never seen before. Now, do I think it was a glitch? I don't, but remember, there's more digging that we have to do into this and to kind of understand what's going on, but
He doesn't think it was a glitch.
the whole kind of story comes together to create one full story. Like all these separate stories kind of come together to create one, big story. So I don't think the glitches were an accident. They're talking about how hard this is going to be to clean up.
Am I hurting your feelings, Ant Card? Are you taking this personally? Am I messing with your emotions? I mean, I'm sorry, facts don't care about your emotions. They don't care whether it's good or bad or how it makes you feel, if it makes you feel good or like shit. I mean, can I ever say anything good about AMC? I have said plenty good about AMC. Most recently, I said at least AMC as compared to GameStop, okay? AMC has a product that people want. People like going to the movies. That's probably not going to go away. But that doesn't mean that a company that is in that industry is a good company. However, they do have an audience. They have something that people want. Unlike, in my opinion, GameStop. They have seemingly nothing that anybody wants or that anybody needs, let's say, even. But yeah, I mean, it's not about me saying something good or bad about it. It's about calling it as it is. Okay. See, that's the thing. People need to, in my opinion, would be wise to be a little bit more objective. See, you've decided that you like this for whatever reason, and that's your prerogative. However, okay, I like this, but then things can change or you can learn more information. This is, you know, adulting, really. Yeah, I like uh I mean, I don't want to use an example, a personal example or anything that would be loaded. So, I'll just say I like red. I like the color red. It was my favorite color. Like, so I guess it is a personal example, but it's not loaded with any societal anything, no pop culture, whatever. I like the color red. It was my favorite color. Well, at some point, it's not that I don't like red anymore, but now I like blue. And so blue is kind of my favorite color now, I guess. I don't know, but it changed. Something changed. I saw a lot of blue skies, and it was beautiful, and it made me realize how awesome the color blue is. Whatever. I watched a Bob Ross video, and he was painting with cerulean blue, and it was like, oh wow, blue, that's the shit. Whatever reason. So you can get involved in something and then maybe realize or learn more about it and change the way that you view it. Okay. That's called having a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset. And the apes, by and large, and I'm not saying anything about any one specific, including Ant Card here, but it seems like in the almost, year and a half of looking at this crap, that a lot of people have fixed mindsets. They have decided that there is going to be a squeeze. And so they look for any evidence that seems to support it or that can be massaged into hearing like it supports it to people who don't know what they're talking about or doing or have no experience. So I'm just saying, look, let's look at the facts and where do those point? I don't care what anybody already thinks, or I don't even care what anybody goes on to think or do. Take it or leave it, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I mean, you guys really need to understand the difference between being subjective, having a preconceived notion, and trying to find evidence that fits that square peg into a round hole, or being objective and saying, you know what, this peg is not going to fit in that hole. I need to find the right peg or the right hole. Boy, that sounds terrible. And you might not find one that fits. That's the reality. But I mean, you know, uh, can you understand that? I don't understand. I don't see how. You know, it really is just. And again, I'm not talking about anybody, and I don't care about anybody. Let me just be clear about that. I don't give a crap what happens to your shares or your investments or your deal. But it's fundamentally despicable that the only information that you get when you search for AMC on this social media platform is all of this crap. And I've shown over and over and over that it is crap. So anyway, let's see. You get trapped on AMC, but you support the investors who are in it. These aren't investors. Let's be clear about that. These are not investors. These are gamblers, and they're entitled gamblers. If they went to the casino, um, you know, it would be like they would be pissed that they didn't win, even though they have no idea how to play craps or poker, and they mosey up to those tables and plunk down a bunch of money, not knowing what they're doing, and they lose all their money, and somehow it's somebody else's fault. That's what you're dealing with here. So supporting the investors, I mean, if you really supported the investors, you would honestly, you would probably try to educate them. I mean, I guess you have to be educated yourself, and maybe you are. I don't know. But helping the investors by stoking their unsubstantiated dreams is not helping. That's not helping. Who's going to the protest on the 27th, 28th? Wear a hard hat. Ooh, no, definitely not. Shadow Stars might be going though. By the way, he's not here tonight. Shadow Stars is not here tonight, for good reason, because it's his birthday. So we want to all wish, or at least I do, wish Shadow Stars 13 a happy birthday. He is a subscriber here, and we've been subscribers of each other's channels since summer of 2021 when we both started doing this. And he's a fellow evidence-based thinker. So here's his channel, and he's got a lot of good videos that are based on facts. And so earnings updates, tracking ETFs, fact checking these grifters, etc. And he's very evidence-based. So, you know, if you want to help the apes, send him to Shadow Stars. All right.
And it's a big mess because retail traders, okay, it's not just retail, but traders in this glitch have lost upwards of 8 figures just from these glitches that occurred today. Okay, right? You seen it go up, you jumped into calls, whatever you lost, whatever it may have been. They're talking about an 8-figure loss.
Always a good idea to jump into calls in the first minute of trading.
That were in stocks that went through these halts. So obviously we're putting AMC aside in that, right? Because AMC is obviously close to breaking out of this wedge. Like that, you know, little pump that AMC had this morning isn't, you know, make or break for AMC. But when you're looking at Walmart raising $6-7 and other stocks.
Speaking of wedge, we got to do our wedge update. So Sunday, we looked at Ants trades. Is that it? Yeah, I think so. And he said that he believed that AMC was going to break out of this wedge here um, on Monday, yesterday, the 23rd. And as it turns out, it didn't even come close. In fact, well, this was today, so I mean, yeah, take that with a grain of salt, I guess. But yeah, the wedge update is that no, it did not break out of the wedge, did not break the wedge Monday or today. And in fact, it had pretty much observed the wedge, respected the wedge. So anyway, just an update. Hey, I said I would update, we would track it, and we did. I did my
I
part.
don't have in front of me right now, but 80 stocks overall. You know, they're talking about it costs brokers and retail traders likely 8 figures. Okay, that's insane. That is absolutely insane. So whatever happened, it's a big mess. Nobody really understands what happened, but regardless, money was robbed from retail and brokers. So
From retail and brokers. Well, that's interesting that he put retail and brokers together like that. Because it seems like, yeah, he said that money was, well, whatever happened was robbed. I mean, that implies that there's an actor. So who is it? Who did it? Who done it? I don't even think he speculated about that. So you can't be robbed without a robber. There has to be a robber. Somebody has to be doing the robbing, doing the stealing. By the way, rob? No, it's not. It's not a robbery. Uh, if anything, it would probably be compared to theft or larceny, something. But robbed, eh, burglary. But it is interesting that he put retail investors and brokers together, and the group that lost 8 figures, which is hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know how it robbed if it was a glitch and the glitch got corrected. Yeah, I mean that's a good point. So he again he said that all this weirdness happened and then it went back to where it was before. And if you saw that it was running up and you jumped into calls in the first 15 seconds of trading, which, do what you want, do whatever you want. But is it a great idea to jump, quote unquote, jump into calls in the first 30 seconds of the market being open? Have you ever watched the market open? Why? I mean, personally, I can't understand that philosophy or tactic or technique, if you want to call it that. That's a good way to get screwed very hard and deep because I mean, you're talking about a binary choice, up or down. I mean, it might go up and then down or down and then up. And in fact, that's what it did today. So that's not dependent on a glitch. That could happen every day. It does happen every day. So, you know, I don't this is not a disclaimer. It's just a matter of fact. I'm not any type of financial professional. I'm just somebody who has been doing this for a few years and saw some bullshit and wants to call it out, and do my part and feel like I'm contributing in some way. So, with that being said, don't buy calls in the first 15 seconds of the market unless, unless it's some kind of, different thing or you're okay with what losing it or whatever, but I've never in 5 years of trading options, I have never heard anyone advise people to open option positions in the first 15 seconds of trading. I mean, personally, I haven't. I haven't heard that. Maybe if you're selling contracts or something or, whatever, but just buying naked calls, um, in my opinion, it's not a great idea. You could lose money even if there isn't any type of regulatory halt. And about 50% of the time you will.
See, how they kind of unwind themselves from this. We're seeing technical glitches across the board. We're seeing, I'm sure Market Watch is going to call it a glitch, but Market Watch is claiming Ape has 58 billion shares. Like, we're just seeing more glitches occur than we've ever seen in the market, right? It's all happening right now, and the reality is glitches don't just keep happening like they're happening now, right? There's obviously computing information that's causing these numbers to show up the way they're showing up, right? Maybe it's
glitches keep happening.
Able to see it, but
so he also said back here somewhere that this was the biggest glitch or it hasn't happened in history or some shit like that, some kind of superlative, the most, the biggest, whatever. But now he's saying that these glitches don't just keep happening. Okay, which one is it? Is it a marvelous superlative event, or is it something that happens continually? Mixed messaging. Now, you see, now we're into the part where he's, grifting.
But the reality is, when I sit back and think about
The
it,
reality is,
these are just glitches because retail's seen it. I don't think they're actually glitches that are occurring, okay? We're not going to go down that rabbit hole, but it was a very interesting thing that occurred this morning.
Why not? Go down the rabbit hole. Why do you think that?
Very close to breaking out of this falling wedge that we've been talking about, that Ants Trades has been talking about.
Ants Trades, yes, this one. Monday.
We talk about how they kicked the can down the road to the last second. I truly believe that this morning was one of those last second cans that were kicked down the road. Because you had all this volume come in the morning, and then volume kind of trickled down, and they kind of compressed all of the buying pressure.
He obviously,
so it's going to be interesting.
He obviously didn't read the documents that talked about the missing opening auction for these stocks, which explains, why the volume was low and whatnot. I mean, so read more about it. Read more in general. This dude needs to read. He needs to read some books. He needs to read some articles. He needs to stop talking and read. Learn. Why are you talking about stocks? Why are you talking about this like you're some kind of expert? I don't claim to be an expert. I make that very clear. I'm not an expert. I don't know everything.
Occurs with that. Some good news I did want to talk about real quick is, and I'll do a whole nother video over
you guys and your rock puns.
Somebody emailed the management team, and AMC does have a massive retailer that's going to be putting our popcorn on their shelves. We're not going to get that information until AMC decides to drop and tell us where that retail is, right? That retail storefront. But either way, that's going to be some big news when that drops. I'm really optimistic
popcorn
here. The deals AMC's worked out. And they also asked, are we still on track for popcorn to be on the shelves in the first half of 2023? And yes, popcorn will be on the shelf in the first half of 2023. So Q1, Q2, not sure, but I'm sure AMC's saving that press release with all that information for the right time. So aside from that, guys, I'll be back with another video when we find a little more on these glitches. But as of right now, it's still new information. Nobody has an answer
New
yet.
information.
But ironically,
nobody knows yet.
AMC's cost to borrow shot up over 300%, down from 280%. So something happened.
Expansive, man.
It's interesting. It's some interesting stuff. So we'll see what we can find, and I will see you guys on the next video. Everybody enjoy the rest of their Tuesday.
We will.
And it's going to be a crazy week. See ya.
Crazy week. Yeah, every week is a crazy week. Did you know that AMC This is something. Did you know that AMC has a new business model? And I'm not talking about popcorn or gold. Oh, new business model, you say, Scott? Huh?
Meet Starla, the new Blue Company business model for our Phase 2 campaign.
Blue homes, solid as a rock.
We'll see you at the ribbon.
Yes, solid as a rock. I always wondered what that song was. Ashford and Simpson. Never heard of them. I think they're a one-hit deal. Ashford and Simpson, solid as a rock. And if you don't, yeah, I know there's some Arrested Development fans here because there's always money in the banana stand. All right, moving on. So I don't even know who this is. I'm not even sure who this one is, but it was provided to me by my masters. Ace in the hole.
Friends, how we doing today? So it's a crazy day. 80 stocks halted today. 80 stocks halted. You can't tell me something's going on. Something's not going on, I should say. When something like this happens, I heard that 250 securities were affected. I'm going to post the link to the story. But this is the kind of thing that shows weakness in the market. Something's going down.
Talking about their marriage, yeah, I could see that.
If you guys look at my video from before about the economy, the economic crash coming, obviously that's a guess on my part, but it's an educated guess. Fact is, the fundamentals of our economy are in crazy shape, and the stock market's not reflecting that. And then something like today happens where you see Microsoft, Walmart, what are some of the other big guys, McDonald's, just making moves and then halted for about 10 to 20 minutes, depending on
Jesus.
And then making moves afterwards. We're talking like billions and billions of dollars affected by this.
I thought it was 8 figures.
This is insanity.
That's a good one, Len.
Something is going on. Now,
something's going on.
To me, it means that they're weakening.
They're weakening
because we're talking the market makers are in charge of this. The brokers, the Citadels of the world. They run the stock market. They're the
Hey, whoa. There's only one Citadel. You cannot say the Citadels. There's only one. Okay. Talking about my handlers. Just kidding.
While all this is going on, I mean, there's no way our stock market should be at the prices it's at right now. It's still got that inflation from the COVID nonsense. When everybody bought in because they all got their stimulus checks and just went crazy on stocks. That is happening, and it shouldn't still be so high. I mean, honestly, the Dow should probably be around 19,000 right now, if we were being honest.
Okay. Boy, this is interesting. So on one hand, on one side of his mouth, he's saying, is he an AMC guy? What does it mean for us? Well, he's got other ones. GTII, GNS, COSM, MMTLP. Okay. So maybe not specifically AMC, but hey, we're just looking at all of the stock market experts here on this. And so out of one side of his mouth, he's saying, he's in these stocks. GTII had another strong day as it continues to climb up, putting pressure on the shorts. But then he just said that the market is too high. It has the inflation from the COVID nonsense. So I'm sensing a little bit of, I don't know, paradox, confusion, double speak. Like, okay, you're in meme stocks and you're talking about pressuring the shorts, but you think that the market, and I'll agree, it's inflated. It is. I believe it is inflated. It's trading at too high of a level that's not pricing in reality at higher multiples than it should be. But I just don't get this. This is some hypocrisy, maybe is the better word. I don't know. Just something I noticed.
But we're not being honest. We're in a dishonest market, and it's not just our stocks. But I mean,
That's that's an issue. That's an issue of a popularity contest versus a weighing machine, or a vote counter versus a weighing machine. And in the short term, it's going to react to popularity and bullshit and rumors and all that stuff, like it is. But in the long run, it's going to resort to being a scale. It's going to weigh how much gold, how much money they brought in. And that's kind of the duality of it. So that's why I remain bearish, despite all this nonsense. But that's just my assessment. But it's a vote counting versus a weighing issue here. Something to keep in mind.
all this, let's talk about the good news. GTII up again, 4th day in a row. And yeah, I know it's 3 cents, but we need to be excited about the wins because
3 cents.
they can't short us down the way they were doing. And I feel like behind the scenes, I know there's a financial crisis, there's a liquidity crisis. I know that's going on. I mean, anybody who's paying attention knows that's going on.
Is
But
liquidity drying up?
so far, for the most part, they've been able to circumvent that. And I think, they all kept thinking it was going to be good still. They thought the Fed was going to backtrack and go all dovish all of a sudden and start either stop increasing the rates or cut them, which is not going to happen. The Fed is still increasing rates and probably going to for the foreseeable future. But they're living in this fantasy world, and the stock market's all speculation. So that fantasy kept it up. Along with all the fraud and manipulation. But that's all starting.
There it is.
I mean, this is the time to get really excited. We're on the verge. We are on the verge. This is
On the
panic.
verge.
This is panic. There's no glitch.
On the
that
verge
does
of-
this. I'm sorry.
No?
No Joe Schmo. These are the most advanced technological systems in the world.
Mm-hmm. And NASA has failures too. Failing to see the point here. Did we not have, a state-of-the-art space shuttle explode in was it the last decade? So I don't know. You can't say that. This is bad logic. Bad logic. I mean, this is somebody who never took a college English class, it seems like. Because if you go into a freshman English class and make these kinds of arguments, you won't make it. Like, this is weak. It's intellectually weak. You can't make these type of arguments and be taken seriously. You can't. I'm sorry, you can't. I mean, I like the hat and I like the line. I like the colored lines. It's cool, but you can't do this. This is not
They don't
valid.
glitch. It just doesn't happen. I mean, they have backups
Yes, it
upon
does.
backups upon backups to make sure it doesn't glitch. This
Oh yeah, you've seen them. You read about it. You watched the PBS document. Like, okay, you said something. Great. They have backups upon backups to make sure that your precious MMTLP IOUs are safe. Who? Who does? Where? How? These are questions. I'm not getting any answers here.
was controlled. This is meant to happen.
Oh, geez.
Why? I don't
Well,
know. Who
you
bet-
don't know, do you? No, you don't know.
backups upon backups to make sure it doesn't glitch. This was controlled. This is meant to happen. Why? I don't know. Who benefits? It's crazy. It's crazy. So I'm super excited.
No, wait.
CRT
Who benefits, though? We learned from Scavenger that 8 figures was lost, or was it Boss Blunts or whoever? We learned that 8 figures were lost Was lost, were lost, whatever. A lot of money was supposedly lost by retail investors and brokers. So did the brokers benefit? I mean, not according to the other guy. So who benefited? Who made out in this? The companies didn't. Their market cap suffered temporarily, and then it went back to where it was. So, I mean, molehill out of anthill coming to mind here. Like, is this a nothing burger? I don't know that it's a nothing burger, but it's certainly not. This is over dramatized, in my opinion.
Frommer announced they're looking into a buyback program, which is awesome. Buybacks are good. We like buybacks.
We like buybacks.
Buyback today. They officially announced.
Wait,
it. And you saw what?
Wait. The market's overvalued, but you like buybacks. I mean, what the hell? This guy is so confused. I mean, god damn. Okay.
Stock. I mean, it's up $1.27 or something like that. I'll post it here. But and it's still going up in after hours. This is these CEOs, they're fighting back. It's super exciting. MMTLP, I don't have any news today, guys, on MMTLP. I haven't heard anything. The one thing I saw is Ham responded to somebody saying it's basically over. So that's good news. And I think, so more happening today.
Ham, the fraud?
FINRA's head of enforcement stepped down.
Okay. These CEOs are fighting back. I haven't really addressed this, and I need to do some more research and reading before I do. But I will say this: these CEOs are fighting back. The stock price is up $1, whatever he said. Okay, great. Be careful, because if I were one of these CEOs that has all this press and a stock price that's running up, and I have a bunch of free shares that I got as part of my compensation, and it's a penny stock, what do you think I'm going to do when that share price goes up? While I'm publicly saying we're fighting the naked short selling, what do you think I'm going to do with my shares? What would anybody do? I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, the CEOs are quote unquote fighting the corruption and naked short selling that has never been shown to exist.
And once again, I'll link to the story here. But
exactly,
it's massive news, especially on our side. Now, that's the kind of thing that gets buried. Nobody's paying attention. But I don't believe in coincidences. I don't. I used to.
Well,
I've lived a lot longer.
So more determinism here. Oh my God. What is with these people and this deterministic attitude? Everything happens for a reason. It's all planned out. Everything. They know where the market's going to go, even though there's thousands upon thousands, if not millions of participants every day. Somehow they know where it's going to go and they can control it. Good God. He likes buybacks. So he likes when a company buys back its stock at the cheap and dumps them back when the stock runs up. Apparently, he's lost his marbles. U.S. Is AMC, and the other countries are the apes. We are mutually dependent on the currency, debt, and credit scams. They saw AA's yacht and was like, oh, shit, we want one too. But I'm just a CEO of whatever.
I've seen too much. I don't believe in coincidences anymore. Now, all that's going on, we hear subpoenas get issued to FINRA. Obviously, we don't get a story on that, but there's a lot of talk about it.
I would like to ask him about
subpoenas being issued to
the
FINRA,
Bed Bath & Beyond CFO.
And then 2 days later,
and correlation versus causation. Do you think he believes in that?
Very interesting, right? So that's going on. We get the halt on the same day. MMTLP hopefully gets settled soon. They put it out there. We see COSM run. GNS got knocked down a little bit today, but that was to be expected, right? I don't know if it's going to have the great run everybody thinks it's going to have, and so be careful, guys. Be careful if you chase that. It still could, but there's just... I don't think it's going to be a stock like GNS that runs. I don't. I think it's going to be one of these they've been fighting so hard that finally breaks, and that's going to be the catalyst. They haven't been fighting GNS that long. They've been holding it down, but they just started the fight because the GNS...
Who are they in this narrative, too, by the way? What the heck happened today? They are panicking. He said they a lot. They. Gonna go with the Frankie Jihad Mohammed take on it. Market makers, hedge funds, the one percenters, basically everybody who's rich and I'm not. They. Who are they? This is the invisible enemy. The invisible enemy. Oh, Lynn with the Lyle Lovett quote. For the win. For the Lynn. Wow. That's yeah, fantastic. I should have known that that you knew some Lyle. But you know, if you ask the apes, what do they want? They want that MONEY. Huh? 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 All right. Lynn's hip. Not obscure enough. Well, I may be 40, but you're gonna have to try harder.
Roger
but not really, because I know that you could smoke me.
Which, by the way, did you guys listen to that chat? You should. That roundtable chat is super good. And he talks about how he had no idea. He thought everything was fair, that the shorts, the way they handled stuff on that was legal. They only had, I think he said he thought they had to settle every time within 2 days, which is laughable. But, you know, it just shows you that those of us who've been in here a while following this, we know more than even a lot of CEOs. Now, how crazy is that? Like, these are guys that have public companies trading. Like, that's amazing that we could still know more about naked short selling than they do. But they're waking up. I saw another CEO today.
Oh, that's funny.
CEI that's joining the fight.
CEI, another great one. So, I mean, going back.
That those of us who've been in here a while following this, we know.
Hold on, back further.
You should. That roundtable chat is super good. And he talks about how he had no idea. He thought everything was fair, that the shorts, the way they handled stuff on that was legal. They only had, I think he said he thought they had to settle every time within 2 days, which is laughable. But, you know, it just shows you that those of us who've been in here a while following this, we know more than even a lot of CEOs. Now, how crazy is that? Like, these are guys that have public companies trading. Like, that's amazing that we could still know more about naked short selling than they do. But they're waking up. I saw another CEO today.
No, you don't. You don't know more about naked short selling. You know nothing about naked short selling, actually. First of which is you don't know that it's happening. You have no actual proof. The only reason naked shorting is an issue, is something that's being talked about, is something that you quote unquote know more than CEOs do about, is because you're a bag holder. You are a bag holder. You have invested in shit companies. GTII, COSM, GNS, MMTLP, and I'm sure many other great ones. And you're down quite a bit. So you have to blame somebody because you have no spine. You're not a honest human being. You want something for nothing. So naked short selling fits the bill perfectly because we don't know who's doing it. It's anonymous in the market. We don't know who's doing it. We don't know who's selling or buying or anything, much less short selling or naked short selling. It could be seen as putting undue negative pressure on the stock down, which, by the way, is disputed. It's not even a given that naked short selling would have the effect that these clowns think it would. And there's academic research to back that up. There actually is. I'll have to find that again and bring, because so much naked short selling has come to the fore again. So I'm gonna do either a video or a stream dedicated to naked short selling doesn't have the intent, doesn't do what you think it does. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Naked shorting may not do what you think it does. There we go. We got a CYA there. But the only reason you know about it is because you have been existing in this echo chamber for the last 2 years, where you're right and everybody and the market's wrong, and Wall Street's wrong, and the brokers and 1%ers are wrong, and they're cheating because they don't want you to be rich. And it's absurd. You know more than CEO. I mean, you also don't believe in fucking coincidences. So
I think it was CEI that's joining the fight. I mean, another one every day. And I'm sure he wasn't the only one. I'm sure there's 2 or 3 today that joined, if not more. CEO block, the fight, the issuing dividends, announcing buybacks. That it's steamrolling. It's steamrolling, and they are terrified. They're terrified. That's the reason they're halting these stocks.
who are they?
GTII, CRTD, MMTLP. I think they're all heading to a close here soon. More and more people
Close?
are sharing my sentiment on this.
What kind of close?
Maniacs, the guys who
Oh, more and more people are sharing your sentiment. Well, I have something to say about that. I mean, there's so many things, but just because something's popular doesn't mean it's right. Let's start there. Just because more people believe something doesn't mean that it's true. In fact, it's likely the opposite. The more people believe something, potentially, the more likely it is not to be true. Or the way that the Wire said it is, the bigger the lie, the more they believe. The bigger the lie, the more they believe. Because it can't possibly be that that's not true. So when everybody's and here in the market, when everybody's on the right, when everybody's on the same side of the trade, and everybody's aligning with one side, that's when being a contrarian will help you. That's when being able to think outside of your box will come to your benefit, because the market has a way of saying, oh, and this is not what it's saying. The market doesn't say anything. They say things, but the market doesn't collectively. But by and large, I mean, retail investors, retail traders are uninformed. This guy's uninformed. He's an uninformed retail investor. And he's convinced himself of this naked shorting narrative. And a lot of other bag holders have jumped on the bandwagon. Okay, there are 8,000 stocks that you could trade, but you're focusing on this handful because you have supposedly an excuse as to why you're losing. But you wouldn't have that excuse in Apple, would you? Or Tesla, or GE, or Microsoft. But AMC, GameStop, MMTLP, GNS, yeah, there you have the excuse. I don't buy any of this. This is just crap, nonsense.
close.
I mean, yeah, I hope it comes to a close too, by you not being able to close your positions because these companies have been kicked out of the exchange. Not even to the OTC or pink sheets. No, do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Goodbye. You're done.
Chart guy, I respect him. I respect
not surprising.
Those guys, but they're all looking for like the day trading stuff. This is about the CEOs and the companies
investing
in fights.
We support the company,
and I think we're all starting to see, those of us following it, that that they're losing it. They are losing it.
Saving
And
companies
it's only a matter of
one
time
naked
now.
short at a
So
time.
we might not even need the big news to break through if this keeps up. If they are this weak, man, really exciting stuff coming. So that's all I got for today, guys. I just wanted to chit chat about that, get you all thinking. But I'm
Chit
getting
chat.
out of my piece.
You just wanted to shit chat. Okay. All right. B Hayes, my boy. It's my boy, B Hayes. Here we go.
Yes, sir. It's your boy B
I hope he behaves.
Hayes. We back with another one, guys. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Before we do that, watch out for spam, WhatsApp in the comments down below. Feel free to join VIP to be alerted whenever we get in and out of plays. Also, get your free stock from down below as well, guys. So as we know, guys, we supposed to be going crazy right now with the play.
Free stocks from Australia? What?
We can't help whenever we on top of stuff. So, you know, we on top of stuff like we are.
Oh, that is in his background.
And they have to come
Turn the TV off, man.
with other forms to slow it down. This week's supposed to be an amazing week for the market. Last week's supposed to be an amazing week. We could tell how we ended off on Friday on last week that it was a very bogus week. Also, how Bitcoin is up phenomenal, you know, from
No, let me run down to AMC and grab some more popcorn for y'all. But I think Model 3 Dude and probably Lynn said this before, but hey, if you think that let me start over. If you're watching this live stream right now and you've been watching it for a few minutes and you would say that, hey, it's not terrible. It's not a terrible stream. It's, it's different, maybe. It's different. And hey, this guy's making some good points. I don't agree with everything he's saying, but he's making some decent points. Maybe hit the like button. Maybe hit the thumbs up so that, somebody else can find it and say, hey, this guy's he made one point. Because that's all it does. It just helps with that. And I'm bad at self-promotion and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, but I figure if you've been watching for a few minutes, there's something that's, some reason why. Maybe we'll never know. Probably won't. But the way to remedy that is just hit the like button, and then you don't have to worry about it. Then you don't have to think about why did I do that? I don't know. Because I did. Why does it happen? Because it happens. Roll the bones. I know. I would be so shocked if anybody could tell me what song that's from or what band. I guess you could Google it, but anyway. All right. Well, behaves.
from 15,000 all the way up to the $20,000 range plus over above that 20K mark. Bitcoin doing well, and
these are some good puns tonight.
With the market, and that's not 100% just because Bitcoin up is supposed to be up. We know that, but everything that got Bitcoin up is the same reasons for the market to be up. Everything that got Bitcoin down was the same reasons for the market to be down. So not just off the fact of it's up, it's the fundamentals and the psychology behind it as well, because it's not just definitely fundamentals is out of the window with a lot of this. Stocks will be down when they're reporting good earnings and doing well, positive cash flow, and they could be doing bad and the stock price will be up. So that's why I say fundamentals out the window. But from the fundamental standpoints of rising inflation, rising interest rates, that caused the market in Bitcoin to come down. Now we is on the flip side of that, so the market in Bitcoin should be up, but the market is steady being stagnant after having a good week before last going crazy, but now they had to slow it down. And how we know something fishy is going on because, guys, look at this. It's real. It's not just for play. New York Stock Exchange,
not for play,
investigates technical issues that briefly halted some trading. So first off, before we even go further, or let's go ahead and continue, the New York Stock Exchange is investigating why trading was briefly halted for dozens of companies Tuesday just after the market opened. You know why they halted it? Because like I said, the market supposed to be blowing right now. It's insane. Money supposed to be falling out of the tree. But they halted it.
What?
And halt, look up the definition for halt, not the why they do halts within the market, because they say a circuit breaker, or too many orders coming in, it got to catch up with itself, or a big anticipation of news is also why they halted, and they openly say that. So why is you slowing down and stopping trading? Because halt mean abruptly come to a stop. That mean they actually like, oh, stop, shut this down. This thing is about to blow. We can't let
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet tonight, hasn't it, man?
contracts expire worthless again this week, like
Yeah.
we did last week, and then let it blow possibly next week, and possibly we'll do the same thing next week.
What is he talking about? I have no idea, but here you go. It's Rush. And actually, I remember now, I did actually use this song in a video in 2021, one of the many videos that was lost when my channel was deleted by YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, Google. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did, but anyway, it's a Rush song. Oh, I still am Rush fan.
But it's about
So,
to blow.
but
It's going to
actually, I believe the phrase "roll the bones," meaning like roll the dice, take a chance. I'm just looking at Wikipedia here because it did come from somewhere else, or I mean, let's see. Supposedly, Neil Peart, "Roll the Bones" was named after a science fiction story by Fritz Leiber that Neil Peart had read at some point, called "Gonna Roll the Bones." Anyway, he liked the phrase and wrote it down, and then wrote a song about it. So anyway, hey, you know, and yep, yep. So that's from 1991. 1991. Where were you in 91?
it's just as hard to time it whenever you got these people doing these type of things, guys. So even with all around that, that's why the key to it is aiming small, missing small, because you already know, guys, because we run into in the counters like this, and that's
Aim small, miss small. Okay. I actually, that's actually not a bad phrase. You don't want to pile in and get screwed out of everything, so just start it small. The Model 3 dude, I agree. I agree. Hey, we were talking. I shared I share in over in Telegram the other day. Wow, Jake break out there. I shared a Bill Bruford song. So, and I played drums back, in a former life. I was a drummer. So, I have a, pretty, we've definitely had the drummer discussion here before. So I don't even know, I don't remember where that discussion went, but there's so many good drummers. But um, let me say this, as far as lyricists go, uh, I would put Neil Peart up there with the best, like Hal David, you know, or Lennon McCartney, personally. Um, Obviously, drumming, you know, is very, very, specific and technical and precise and all that. A lot of people might say that it's too mechanical feeling. I've heard that. Uh, certainly, people don't like Geddy Lee's voice. That turns a lot of people off from Rush. But anyway, um, John Bonham. Yes. Okay. That's right. Now I remember. Yes. Now I remember. Now I remember now that you were a big Bonham fan. So is my dad. Anyway, yeah, man, I'm having trouble following this.
Because once it does go our way, and you know they can't
Cut your winners, cut your losers. Okay, that's good.
happening. That's when you add to those winners and make those crazy days to where these days like this don't even matter. Just sit back and wait for the market to do what it do, right? But it just got to be brought up and brought to you guys' attention. As we guys could see, now you know what halts are and why they say they do it, and now you know the definition of a halt, and it all makes sense, right? This is just another form of the manipulation to do right in front of your face. Everything else is they try to do it behind closed doors and cover it up through dark pools and rerouting the orders and you know all these other tactics that they do. But this, the halting, that's what they
right, all that other stuff, all that other
your face. Like we just
effery.
Why would you stop it when it's in the favor for you know the smaller guys? Because most people retail going long. It's in favor for us every time they really halt it. They'll halt it whenever it's tanking, pulling back too. But I see more halts on the way up than on the way down. But anyways,
yeah, took him long enough to get there.
Impacted, including, and I bet it's all big companies. Large.
I mean, you know, the thing is, we've been over the halts before. It's not, they don't just halt. Okay, the market doesn't just halt whatever it wants. I mean, it's a very specific criteria, and it's not just 5% and whatever time limit. I mean, it's actually more detailed than that. We've been over that before. I don't need to go over that again, but just know that it's more complicated. You can go to LULD plan. I think it's that.com. Limit up, limit down. LULDplan.com or call 1-800-LULD now. Just kidding. But it will show you the calculation of the price bands. I mean, it's complicated. That's why it's done by the computer. Okay. And usually like 9.9 times out of 10, the computer keeps things straight. But I mean, who among us has not had computer issues? I know I have. So it's LULDplan.com and LULDplan.com for all your needs for understanding that. Oops. Oh boy. That's a terrible font. There we go. But you know, it is what it is. It's you know, yeah, sometimes it is gonna not be in your favor, but I mean, that's everything and kind of in life, right? I mean, it's not like everything is always going to go your way and it's going to be, you know, roses and champagne. So anyway, these are the same people that claim Ken Griffin burned down a factory. Yeah, remember that? They burned down the storage facility in Chicago area. Citadel did. I mean, there's reports that people saw Ken Griffin fleeing the scene with an aiming flame in his hand. But you know, because warehouses and factories, they don't just catch on fire. You know, no, they don't just catch on fire. It doesn't happen. Ken burned down the paper in the cement warehouse, so they'll never catch what he did. Clever, very clever. You know, and we had, I did videos on that in summer or fall of whatever 2021. Did videos on that, talking about how these guys are now all of a sudden expert arson investigators. Yes, they're literally masters of all trades. They know everything about, you know, arson investigation, the stock market, and everything in between. Okay, I didn't know who this was, and this is Al from Boston. Al from Boston. All right, let's kick it off.
Good afternoon. Al from Boston here. How you doing? It's 2:57 here in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. Wherever you are, welcome to the show. Just a quick video regarding AMC. A couple things that I've been noticing, guys. Remember, I was the guy that said, "Hey, Al from Boston said, $100,000, $10,000 a share, blah blah blah, all this other stuff." Right, and the entire community thought I was crazy and blah blah blah, and they made a laughing stock out of me. But I maintain my position. I am still maintaining this stock has the potential of going well into the hundreds of thousands, maybe even
Oh,
the millions.
yep. So you're saying that now because, oh yeah, there was this quote unquote glitch. There was a quote unquote glitch, and well, that's a great grifting opportunity, isn't it? What a hmm, what a what a despicable scoundrel this guy is.
Why do I say that? Right. Today we had a breaker halt. We have a limit up, limit down halt. It's my belief that it's either Vanguard or BlackRock that has caused this because they're over levered globally.
Oh, okay. So let's cram as many unsubstantiated speculative statements in the first 49 seconds of a video as we can. That'll be cool. Yeah, they'll eat that up. They'll eat this up. Yeah. God.
They're a lender and they're over levered globally, and they're in a place where they have to basically get liquidity. So they're selling off things. Now, one of the things, if you've been watching my show long enough, you know that I love talking about the cascading effect of stocks, right? We talked about this for years. We talked about how
Years?
affect one stock when one market maker makes a mistake, or there's a flash crash, or there's some kind of systemic problem that they have. Like that's why I kept saying this has the potential to be a runaway train of a stock, AMC that is, because Citadel, SIG,
Runaway train of a stock. That's a great analogy. A runaway train of a stock. Wow. I like that. I like that. It's going to end up in the ravine. God.
they are upside down on this trade, right? And they're in systemic risk category.
Upside down on the trade? Have you seen the chart, man? Have you seen the chart? How could anybody who is short, and by the way, you don't even know that Citadel's shorting this. There's no evidence actually that supports that. So that's speculative. But I mean, I'm looking at a chart, you know, that it from the highs, is down 80 plus percent from the highs. How could anybody be underwater in this if they're not, unless they're an ape? How could anybody be underwater? I mean, like there are very few actual opportunities in this. Like, I feel like it would be harder to be underwater as a short than it would be to not than it would be to be profitable. It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. None whatsoever. There's nothing. There's no substantiated data or evidence that points to the fact that they're underwater, that they're upside down, that they're losing money. They, meaning in this case, short sellers of AMC. There is, I mean, in fact, the evidence is to the opposite. The evidence would seemingly, just like retail investors would seemingly own 80% of the float of AMC, would. I love that Adam Aron used the word would. He said, would seem to. That's very specific language. But anyway, this seems to suggest that shorts would be sitting on or have realized by now, of course, because they don't, unlike the apes, they actually close their trades and realize profits or take losses. They would be booking like massive profits on this thing. 85% down? Are you kidding me? How is anybody underwater shorting this? Unless they're an ape, in which case they wouldn't be shorting it. So, like, I don't get that. It makes no sense. This guy is full of shit.
They're one of those it's one of these things where it's like you're in a stalemate situation where you have to control the stock every day until you have some meaningful, foreseeable plan to get out of this stock. The problem is no one capitulated, and that makes this a systemic risk issue. Take a look at this, gentlemen and ladies. This is the New York Stock Exchange trading halls for today. There was over 100 of them, including Cosmo was in there, Palantir. We had AMC, of course, RTX. We had all the stocks that are heavily shorted that are in systemic risk. There's over 100 of them, right? And these are blue chips. These are from big funds, so on and so forth. McDonald's, freaking Walmart, all the major players who've been heavily shorted.
All the heavily shorted stocks like Walmart, like McDonald's. What the hell is he talking about? I guess I should go check to see if it's heavily shorted, but I mean, are you kidding me? Jesus Christ. No, Walmart is not heavily shorted. Holy fuck. I mean, I just went with the first thing I found here. It's on Barron's. So shoot me. And by the way, the news today for Walmart in the news at noon was Walmart raises wages for U.S. hourly workers. They must have felt bad that all those employees lost so much equity during that flash crash this morning that they decided to raise wages for the workers to make up for it because they're that nice. Okay. Where'd it go? Here it is. Short interest, 12 million. Oh, that's a lot. Yeah. Well, they have 2.7 billion shares outstanding, and you've got 12.26 million as of December 30th. 12 million for a 0.87% of float shorted. So no, Al, Walmart is not a heavily fucking shorted fucking stock, you motherfucking grifter. And I just probably fucked myself on this channel with the language. Fuck it. I don't fucking care. Fucking asshole. Fuck.
Systemic risk, the uncontrollable stocks.
God damn it.
What we saw today,
fucking asshole,
the entire New York Stock Exchange come to a screeching halt and saying, "Oh, we have a trading halt." And that wasn't just these stocks; it was actually the entire market itself. I saw it because at other stocks,
the entire market halted
trading at all. So I knew something was definitely going on.
The entire market halted. Did it? The entire market. Okay.
And they're all saying, "Oh, news pending, news pending." No, my friend. That's not what it is.
No, it was not news pending. Oh my God. It was a limit up, limit down. You fucking piece of shit.
Systemic risk territory.
How many lies has he told in less than 3 minutes? How many inaccuracies has he presented as fact? As if he's some kind of expert who doesn't understand the basics of trading and the stock market. What a joke. This guy is such a joke.
We talked about this before. We've talked about this.
Yeah, you've talked about it
tons of times. This is systemic risk. They call it, a point where the market is so saturated and it's so upside down and it's so over.
This guy is so fucking pathetic. This guy is so pathetic. Holy shit. Listen to him fucking flail around.
Find a way out of this, right?
And no clue what he's talking about.
They'd rather hold.
They'd rather hold? Oh, listen. And he's so fucking sloppy too.
Right? And rather than screw us, they'd rather hold. Screw themselves. They'd rather hold.
rather. How do you make these fucking mistakes that he makes when he's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, we know he's not reading from a either, or he sucks at reading.
Manage something. Just hold, right? Which is what they're doing. And they're trying to naked short sell, use crypto tokens to naked short sell, so on and so
forth. Oh, first time anybody's mentioned that in tonight's stream. They're trying to naked short sell the crypto tokens. Oh, are they, Al? Okay, I'm sure you've got some time and sales and some trading receipts for that, right?
And it tells me that they're desperate people.
No,
And
you're fucking
let me show
desperate.
you how desperate they are. Let me give you an
Piece of shit.
inclination, right? This is from this morning.
Oh,
Look at these numbers.
this.
8,800, 9,000, 10,000, 11,000, 13,000, 20.
Who bought for that? Who sold for
27,000.
that?
And we saw that today. Well, we've seen these numbers before, though, have we not? Where have we seen these numbers? That's right, last year. Open 3/16, 12/14 Eastern Standard Time Zone. Look at that number, $99,999.
Wow.
Wow.
A dumbass fucking ape put in a limit order to sell at $99,999. And you're hyping it because you either A, don't understand what you're looking at, which that's what I'm voting for. You have no fucking clue what you're actually looking at. Or number two, you do know that. So number one, you're negligent. You have no clue. You shouldn't be talking about it. You're negligent. Number two is you know that what you're looking at is not indicating what you say it's indicating, but you're representing it as if it did indicate what you're insinuating or intimating that it represents. And that, my friend, is fraud. That is fraud, plain and simple. Plain and fucking simple. Maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't know. But maybe he knows what he's looking at. Maybe he doesn't really understand it, but maybe he thinks that that's still it's still fraud. You need to know what you're talking about. You're telling people that they can sell their shares for $100,000. You're telling me that somebody sold one share. He didn't say this specifically, but he's insinuating that people were trying to sell their shares, which apparently they were, for these astronomical, asinine prices. Okay? No, that's ridiculous. Those shares, it will never happen. Never.
Look at that number, $99,999.
God damn.
Wow.
That's asshole.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. But 81 halts this morning. This is from earlier.
Yeah, they do.
Like I said,
Tony,
it's either
you
BlackRock
nailed
or
it.
Vanguard that pulled the stunt. They're trying to calibrate, rebalance their books. They're selling off assets, and that's why we saw this cascading effect because of margin and collateral.
Thanks, Tony.
Tandem with this, and that's why you saw it. That's why there had to be a limit up, limit down. Because there is going to be a downward movement now because BlackRock or Vanguard obviously sold. And this guy's right. Biotech Moose is correct. A mass book liquidation is probably what happened. They got rid of a stock that was a big stock, that was a blue chip stock, and it's going to reverberate all across the entire market. So that's why you had these limit up, limit down features. You have protocols in place with high frequency trading, and lo and behold, boom, you have this going on. That's what happened. Let's continue on. Now you'll notice here also.
That was the equivalent of verbal diarrhea. That's what we call that here. That's verbal diarrhea. You just shit with your mouth. That's the quality of what you just said. That shit literally belongs in the toilet bowl.
Downgraded 17 banks.
What an idiot.
Several insurance company. Why? Remember how we talked about collateral, right? How do you leverage your position?
Look.
You have a position in something that's worth a shit, but has an ass behind it, like Tesla or Apple, and you collateralize it. Or you have things that you can collateralize, right?
God.
And when you downgrade companies and banks like that, that means something was sold big time. Something of mass value was sold, and once it was devalued, well, your stock goes down. Your entire bank.
I'm glad you didn't say I don't enjoy the new non-swearing Scotty as much because fuck it. You know what? I don't want YouTube to make money off of my videos. I don't want them to make money off of my videos. So I guess if I swear, then they won't put ads on them and they won't make money. So fuck you, YouTube. Fuck you.
Rating system goes down because you no longer hold those assets, or the assets has depreciated in value. And that includes insurance companies, unfortunately, right? What that means is whatever they were using for insurance as a down is no longer worth that. So that means, once again, the downfall of Wall Street has become, I shouldn't say that, but it really is though. When you have systemic risks like this and you see it cascading across the entire market spectrum and you see this landscape that was normally this, and it's coming downwards, and with downward pressure, it's absolutely systemic territory. It's systemic risk. Now what's going to happen is the way they're going to fix this. They're not going to try to fix this per se. What they're going to try to do is they're going to keep doing the spoofing game, keep maintaining the stock, and you're going to see a downward projection. You're going to see the stocks, all those stocks, take a nice, not those stocks, the regular market starts systematically going down, because there is a fear factor in all this, you guys. There is a fear factor. They're going to recalibrate. They're going to figure out what happened, quote, figure out what happened, and then we're talking about the analysts, guys. And eventually they're going to start selling off their other stocks. And there you have the downward turn that we talked about. And that just keeps going, keep going, keep going. The halt are telling, because those are the stocks that are, in my belief, the most riskiest, the most to cause them pain and suffering.
Yeah, Walmart. Yep. Boy, that is a painful looking stock. Wow. Wow, Al. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with that one. What a bunch of bullshit. This guy sucks.
We are in a good place with AMC and Ape. I still maintain that it's still worth.
Oh, well, okay, good. Good for you to throw that in there. Listen to that. Listen to this.
Cause them pain and suffering. And luckily for us, we are in a good place with AMC and Ape.
Luckily for us, we're in a good place with AMC and Ape.
I still maintain that it's still worth 100,000, maybe $1 million a share. I don't know. But the fact that if this thing becomes a runaway train, it damn well could be any number. It could be anything. It could be anything. But that is not a reasonable thing for traders who have never traded, that don't understand market structure, that don't understand what could happen, what could be the possibility, what could be the potential. Right? That's why I hold it. It's for the potential. In case something happens,
in case something happens.
You know, the what are the trading companies?
Wow.
An error? Because remember,
so in case the trading companies has an error, the trading companies, in case one of the trading companies, you know, like the J. Peterman catalog, in case they have an error, well, you can exploit that. Unless they cancel the trade, and then you end up with a naked short position. How funny would that be? You're an AMC shareholder, you sell on one of these regulatory glitches, and instead of being a millionaire, you end up being naked short 1 million shares of AMC. Boy, that would be funny. Anyway, and the trading companies has an error. Yes, of course. So let's hold on, because there's a chance. Now, look at how wishy-washy and non-committal and just, you know, weak he sounds. I mean, he used to be like, you know, Mr. Oh, I guarantee it's going to happen. I guarantee it's going to, it's going to happen 100%. Now he's holding in case something happens. In case of fire, break glass. Exactly. You know, in case of fire, do not use the elevators. How about that one? A bunch of apes in the elevator pushing the buttons. Why isn't it working? God damn.
Remember, there's a fair bit of programming that goes into these algorithms. And if you're wrong in those algorithms, if you're fucked up, excuse my language, and this thing takes off like a runaway train, hey, guess what? It's no longer an unfeasible thing. It's no longer unfeasible to say the stock could just rip through and they won't be able to do anything about it, because it's just going to go.
Well, okay, but the problem is here, Al, something like that sort of ish happened today, and the fucking thing was halted after what? A minute? Less than a minute? 15, 30 seconds, whatever it was. So, no, it's not just going to rip through and go to 50,000 or 99,000. It's not going to happen, because it takes way less than that for it to get fucking halted. So this is one thing that these guys have never addressed. Never addressed. You can't even, you couldn't run to $10 right now and not have it halted. How are you going to get to 100,000? How are you going to get to 500,000 or 1 million? How is that going to work? What would that look like? How long would it take? What would happen? No, nobody wants to think about that or face the reality that it's not going to happen. It can't happen. It literally can't happen. Cannot happen. It's impossible. I'm saying it. It's impossible. There's no way. No way. Will not happen. Never. How many halts should you expect? 69. 69 halts, and you're there.
Go running through. Any number of things could happen, you guys. That's
Maybe
all.
Moass can happen after hours. Maybe it can. And you're right. Okay. That's how it could happen. But it could also go down the same amount or more. So if it did happen in after hours, we would see a repeat performance of Microsoft today. We would see a Microsoft type chart. There's your Moass right there. Just imagine that this is AMC. You know, this is AMC. There's the Moass, and there's the reverse Moass, and you're actually lower than you were when the stock closed regular trading hours. It's a good point, actually.
That's it for today.
Thanks,
We
man.
might do
Yeah,
live-
it's
I don't know, I'm
awesome.
just trying to like get through the week, I guess. But the New
Wait,
York
what?
Stock Exchange, runaway halt. Any number of things could happen, you guys. That's all I'm saying. That's it for today. We might do a live. I don't know. I'm just trying to like get through the week, I guess. But the New York
I
Stock
guess.
Exchange, runaway halt. The halting was a big issue, and the New York SEC office is investigating trading. They're going to find the same thing. They're not going to disclose their results. I doubt it, or they're going to come up with some, lame, banal, reason why it happened.
Yeah, because everything has to be an exciting reason that indicates that you're going to be fucking rich. Like, this is the world, okay? You're supposedly experienced in finance somehow, in some way, which is ridiculous also. But you should know. Yeah, some of this shit is boring as fuck. It is incredibly boring and stiff and dry, like the liquidity that's drying up. It's that dry. It's as dry as Eugene Levy. It's sardonically dry. But come on, like they're going to give you some banal reason, some like I'm sorry that's how the shit works. Like it's not going to be juicy. It's not going to be exciting. It's just going to be whatever it is, and you're not going to believe it anyway. So who cares?
Any of it, but it is what it is. That's all I have for you guys today.
It is what it
Stay
is.
tuned. We got some
Yep.
more updates coming up real soon. Alpha and Boston.
Great. All right. Yeah. Sure. Right. Right. Let's see what we got here from Model 3 Dude.
What's going
Oh,
on, everybody?
here we go. Oh, remember I warned you about this back in AMC. Oh God. All right. Jesus. You know what? I'm saying it today.
Today was an interesting day. We had a good runner with HLBZ, and across the board, what was
It went up
80
3
stocks
cents.
halted, and a bunch of other stocks affected, like into the hundreds. Let me just tell you something. It all started with Morgan's stock. Morgan stock shot up out of nowhere, and it was like, huh? Morgan stock doesn't move. It's just, that's it. All of a sudden, it started to just do a rip. Then other stocks, so they just literally had to like stop everything. So for all you people that,
I mean,
you're in your
Jesus fucking Christ.
trading software, and you're like, and the line's gonna go like this, and the Fibonacci's going like that.
Master gaslighter here.
Because the Fibonacci doesn't control them on the other side going, you know what, stop. You know why I think it all stopped?
Yeah, maybe not, but it's surprisingly accurate a lot of the time, and a lot of the times you will see that the algorithms seem to react to Fibonacci levels. So, I mean, whatever, Lou.
Stopped.
Whatever.
Everything was ripping. Remember the videos I did earlier today that talked about that the brokers are broke, there's no liquidity, that trade
liquidity
taking longer, and the scalps are becoming bigger as far as the spacing. Let me tell you something. Remember back in AMC, I warned everybody there was going to come a time where there was going to be a liquidity crisis and all these plays were going to run because what's needed to push them down is that free, easy money, that easy peasy credit liquidity,
Right.
That.
That's true.
That is what allowed all this universe to exist. And guess what? It ain't happening no more. Okay? It ain't happening.
Okay.
So today, what you saw, that button, is what I warned about in AMC. So moving forward, I want you.
My thoughts exactly, Model 3 dude.
Okay, when I get into my plane, I'm making good money. I know it can go higher, but think to yourself, what if they pause this? Because remember I said they'll stop it? Nobody believed me. They'll just stop things. And guess what? You saw it today across.
What are you talking about? It's literally part of the regulations. Literally stop things. God. I'm a fucking master gaslighter.
80 different stocks, and it affected a bunch of other ones. So you didn't believe me when I said that they'll just shut it down. They'll just stop it. It's not even a question. And now a glitch, a technical, whatever. Listen, it comes down to money because at the end of the day, once it jumps out of Wall Street, it affects the banks and the banks' treasury, yada, yada, yada. You've been warned. When you see a possibility for taking profits, it's good to let things run, and I get it. But if you're vulnerable and whatever, you're seeing the beginning of what's coming. The beginning of what's coming is somebody's going to step in and go, stop everything. And they did it today. Now, you get the technology, this, that, whatever, but deep down, everybody knows what this was. And it started with...
There it is. There it is. Everybody knows what this was. And that's how we know that you are a grifter and a gaslighter. Because the only people who say that kind of shit are gaslighters and grifters. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Like the Leonard Cohen song, right? It's a straw man argument. Everybody knows. It's a fallacy. It's nonsensical. But, and I'm not going to get political. But, you know where I'm going.
Just ripping up.
See, I just did it. You know where I'm going. Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
People go, oh no, they're switching algos and stuff like that. Let me tell you something. They got switches for the internet. They got switches for the banking, and they got switches for the Wall Street markets. At the end of the day, they can shut down anything like that. So, that being said, going forward, make your money. Don't be greedy. Smart. Make sure you cover. Remember what I talked about this morning as far as like trade with what keeps you calm and allows you to continue making money. But remember, I warned you about this time that was coming back in AMC.
Trade what makes you calm. I know what makes you calm. People are saying, I'm hearing, yes, exactly. Exactly. And, that appeals to a certain type of individual. And there's a lot of overlap here. There's a lot of overlap between somebody who accepts that type of logic and whatever. But when I think of calming, there's only one YouTuber, AMC Grifter, that comes to mind. And he provides a calming presence. We already watched this video, but it has to be Ape Andy. This is the calmest YouTuber.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, lady apes, gentlemen apes? This is Ape Andy. Yes, I am still here for the community, the apes community. I'm an ape. I am for lady apes. I'm for gentlemen apes. I'm for you. So, this is 2023, and this is the first video from Ape Andy for 2023. I'm not a guy that's pushing for stocks. I am a guy that's pushing for the well-being of apes, lady apes and gentlemen apes. I'm here for the community. I'm not trying to push any stocks, okay? I'm just trying to calm people down and to
There it is.
views for financial well-beings. But what I say are not financial advices. I only give you mindsets and to calm you down in case
Calm you down.
you have financial stress.
So if you need your financial stress resolved and you need a nice calming presence, but not financial advices, go to Ape Andy. Okay, when he said calm, that's the first thing I thought of. What is wrong with me? God damn it. All right, we're almost through all these videos. This might be the last one it's been handed down, but I think I'm sure there's more. Namaste. Oh no, yeah, there are more. Well, there's one more, I think, after this.
AMC stock halted at open. Guys, things are getting absolutely crazy. AMC stock got halted as soon as the market opened. Guys, we're getting close to Moass. Pray and best believe.
Oh,
Stay strong.
there it is.
Stay holding.
We're getting close. It got halted at the open. Everything was haunted, but if you live in mommy's basement, you probably think it was just AMC. Why are you people so weird? Like I was only watching AMC. Who cares about the other stocks? If you bothered to do even a minimal Google search about it, you would have found out almost instantly that it was 80 stocks halted. Just AMC. All right, well, let's get to this next one here. Oh, my favorite.
Hey friends, welcome to Stock Market. Today we're talking about AMC stock. It's going to be a quick video. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the video with a friend, add notifications. I just wanted to point out that AMC stock was halted for no reason 16 seconds into the trading day. You can look
for
it up.
No reason.
And I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know what's the reason behind it, but they've always got something.
Thanks, Chris.
Where they're trying to stop
That's, I mean.
running. And the only thing that I can really figure out that
what a guy.
I had noticed was yesterday, AMC finished in the green, $5 million on the net inflow outflow. Positive $5 million flowed into AMC. So that could have created some very good momentum, and they were worried about that. So they wanted to just halt it right from the start in case there was any momentum that was going to get started. That's my guess. There's probably something that you...
Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Oh my God. Holy fucking shit. What? I mean, less than a minute in, and he has no clue. Are you? Jesus.
I really don't know, but it is suspicious.
This feels even wrong. Honestly, to criticize this video. I mean, it's not wrong. It needs to happen, but this is like it's like shooting fish in a fucking barrel.
And it seems
holy
very
shit
unfair to me. So I wanted to point that out to you about AMC.
Like, I think that this guy has a learning disability or something, or he's like mentally challenged. This makes no. Oh my God.
It was halted today right at opening. The other thing that I wanted to point out to you about the AMC is the support. We have support at $4.66, and we have resistance at $6.30. So that's kind of the trading range that we have right now on it until we have a catalyst or we get some sort of gamma squeeze, which we will. We've got some very positive things coming up. We've got the vote coming up. And, you know, with this vote coming up before the end of March, once we have the news released, just by having the news released and when the date is and all that, just that alone should create a little bit of a pump. And then I'll have more explanation for you as what will happen based on the results of the vote. I have the answer to that.
What happens after every pump? What happens after every pump? Every pump. Every single pump. Yeah.
Another video. So the other thing I want to point out to you is the off-exchange dark pool trading volume of AMC stock, which
Now, don't say it's more than 57%. If you say it's more than 57%, we're going to have a problem because it clearly says off exchange 57%. And these motherfuckers on Reddit, they like to add other numbers in here and make it higher than what it is. And when it clearly says, clearly, one number off exchange. So I don't know. I don't know if he's going to do it. I don't know. But we'll see.
is openly published. It's not even a secret.
It's not even a
The other thing
secret.
I want to point out to you,
It's not even a secret, guys. It's not even.
the off-exchange dark
God damn.
trading volume of AMC stock, which is openly published. It's not even a secret. How is this even legal? I have no idea. But off-exchange volume today for AMC was 57% of the volume.
Oh, thank God.
13.8 million shares.
Oh, thank fuck. He said it properly. So this guy apparently is a step above the AMC stock subreddits.
Traded off exchange, okay? And on the New York Stock Exchange, there's only 8.8% of the volume was on the NYSE.
Oh dear.
8.8%. So imagine if every single trade on the AMC on the New York Stock Exchange on AMC was a buy. Just pretend every single trade was a buy. Every single trade. It's still only 8.8% of the trades. How are you going to get the price to move like that? You can't. And the market makers know that. So you got to remember,
what?
They're going to let it squeeze when they are ready. It won't squeeze until they're ready to let it squeeze. I've told you that in many videos, but it will squeeze.
God, he has no clue. I mean, and this is representative of so many of these people. Seriously, like this is the level of understanding they have. They have, you know, the volume alone and where the volume is executed will, determine whether the price moves from it. I mean, it's a very basic, elementary, understanding of it, and unfortunately, the market is incredibly complex. I actually was listening to a podcast today. I was driving for work. I was in the car for several hours, or in the van for several hours, and I was listening to this podcast with David Lauer, who blocked me on Twitter because I called him out for grifting the apes. But anyway, either way, I was listening to this podcast from about 8 months ago, and he was giving his typical Dave Lauer spiel. And let's see, I'll find it and provide a link. It's actually a good podcast. Like it's a good episode, and it's Dave Lauer, doing his Dave Lauer thing. But he's got some type of he's got a different insight into the market, I would say. There it is. It's a lag lead report is what it's called. I've never heard this podcast before, or never knew anything about it, but never seen it before. But uh, in any case, he was talking about it, and he was talking about the complex structure of the market and how we have all these middlemen in the market, and how those are opportunities for the uh, for people to profit off of the market, or off of retail investors, and the 17 exchanges and off exchange and high frequency trading and all this stuff. And yeah, it is incredibly complicated. And his point is it's complicated by design. It's in it yes, it developed this way. It could be simplified. It's to it's to the Wall Street firm's advantage for it to be this complex, because all these middlemen, they are all taking a piece of the pie. It's an interesting podcast, and you also get a bit more about his background. He talks about what he did at Citadel. He talks about why he left Citadel, what he was doing after Citadel, and how he came into the spotlight in 2021 with the ape movement. He didn't mention the ape movement or AMC or GameStop by name, which is interesting. And he also said something, and this line stuck out to me. I wish I had the timestamp of it, but he said that basically, and he was talking about Reddit, that's as much as he mentioned was Reddit. He said something like some of the things they've got wrong, but some of the things they've got right. And he's talking about the Reddit apes. Some of the things that they are bringing up are wrong. He knows that this is nonsense. That's my interpretation of what he said. He knows that Moass and this ridiculous notion of millions of dollars per share and all this kind of crap is unrealistic and it'll never happen. He knows that. But he also knows that he believes, a lot of people believe, whatever I'm hearing, people are saying that there are problems, that it's not the most efficient because of the structure. So on one hand, I understand this clown here not being able to understand, having no clue. How would you know? I mean, you have to, Dave Lauer calls it a market. You have to be a market structure geek or a market structure nerd. I mean, I know Star Trek geeks and, whatever comic book stuff and Marvel and all that kind of crap. Market structure geeks, okay, that's taken it to a whole other level. But, whatever. How would you know that? I mean, a lot of people found out about off exchange from this whole thing. That doesn't mean it's bad. That doesn't mean it's harmful, but nonetheless, they didn't know about it. So the point is, I guess, of all this whole spiel here is that, you have to know what you don't, you have to know what you know and try always to find out what you don't know. Because if you don't know what you don't know, that is a terrible place to be in, especially if you're trying to influence other people. If you don't know what you're missing, you could be missing something huge. And these guys are. He is. Like the whole way that the limit order book works. He's just talking about shares off exchange, on exchange. Wow, that's not going to move the price. No, that's not how it works. That's not the deal. So for what it's worth, I try to know what I know and realize what I don't know and avoid the things I don't know or mention, hey, I don't know. I don't really know. Here's what I've been able to find. You can't always find everything. Unless you're our favorite GameStop grifter, in which case you can somehow find proprietary trading data. But anyway, yeah, there's just so much missing. This is like a piece of Swiss cheese here. There's so many holes in this. So many holes. Holy crap.
So stay positive and continue holding and, buy as much as you want until your bags are full. So that's what I wanted to point out to you.
Until your bags are full so that you can hold them forever, because that's what you are.
A little bit under 100% as usual. It's kind of like floating around there.
Jesus.
So that's all I have for you today on AMC stock. Hit like, subscribe, share the video with a friend. Comment something.
Oh, okay.
Do I need to know that I don't know about?
Oh,
Positive
wait,
news
never
on
mind.
AMC.
Oops. Somebody says to do it, I do it. Okay, we did flu. This one supposedly has no views. This next one here. Oh crap! I didn't mean to.
Courtesy flush. We give you all the nutrients and flush out the bullshit. You see that right above there?
Courtesy flush. What the hell? What the fuck? Courtesy flush. What is that? Is that what the market is? Is that the flush that knocks the apes out? The courtesy flush. It's for the courtesy of the rest of the market. We're gonna flush the apes out. I don't know. God damn it.
I mean, this is not financial.
I gotta hear that again.
Courtesy flush. We give you all the nutrients and flush out the bullshit. You see that right above there? Halt. That's the key word for today. I mean, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor.
Got it.
That being said, okay, there's many speed bumps. You know, somebody might know that you are in a certain position where you can win. So, I mean, why wouldn't they slow the process down? What is the speed bump for? To slow it down. Now,
Actually in a school
but
with
a
this
speed
chalkboard,
and
there's a molding trim on this chalkboard,
whatever you do,
like you would
and
see in a
stick to your
school.
guns. You know, unless you got calls to slow it down. Now, it's not a brick wall, that's to stop, but a speed bump. And just stay diligent in whatever you do and stick to your guns, you know, unless you got calls that's about to expire on Friday, like some of us. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Wow, that's interesting. Courtesy flush. Trading halt by Arizona. Where the hell do you find this stuff, Manuel? God, Jesus. Oh my God. Where do you find this crap? I don't know. This stuff is like not ranked at all. It doesn't come up when I just search for AMC. But watch it come up. Is it from an hour ago? Let's see if it can. No, see, it's not filtered. Upload date. Okay. Yeah, upload. That's what I have saved on my thing here. Upload date. How? Let's say last hour. Ape father enjoy his Italian dinner. No views 15 minutes ago.
My meat.
Now 13 views. Okay. So the search function on YouTube sucks, basically, because it does have views, but it's not saying that it does. It's still, I just refreshed this. It still says no views. I still don't know how you find it. Snacking on mozzarella cheese. What the hell? What the what?
So my wife.
Look at this fat fuck. Look at this fucking oh my God. What is wrong with this guy? Holy fucking shit. That's your AMC grifter right there, ape father. Holy crap. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Why didn't you send me that one, Manny? Ape father enjoying a piece of mozzarella cheese. Oh my God. Here you go. Why the glitch? I know I need to wind the stream down. I know. It's getting late.
AB Investments. Hopefully you're having a much better evening than your mornings. I know. We'll talk about the glitch. I want to first congratulate each and every person, whoever actually, made money on ticker symbol GROM. I have alerted the community yesterday in the community tab. If you follow the community
what
tab,
the hell? God damn it, these guys and their fucking shit stocks.
GROM.
Jesus
And,
fuck.
Beautifully today, it did it ran up for more than 70%.
Jesus.
You know, depending on what time of the day you sold or you bought, or if you bought or sold.
Oh yeah, that's out there. Wow, look at that.
To go ahead
that's
and
a
buy.
hell of a stock.
Any of that, I
Jesus.
just say keep an eye on that. And as a trader, this is like, you know, all you need is something on your desk. And then after that, what you do with it is all your business. And you know, comes back from here and there. You're gonna fall in the fire pit of being confused because each place is gonna say something different. One thing you want to do is perhaps call the NYSE and figure out from them, but they themselves will tell you that
call them.
They don't know. They have not seen something like this. Well, I'll tell you this: stuff like this have happened a lot of times before. We've seen a lot of halts. Unless you've been in this stock market for a couple of years or 1 year or I don't know, 3-4 months or a quarter, then that's maybe the case. Or you only been a meme stock investor. That's probably, no, you should, if you're a meme stock investor, you should know more than anyone else. Anywho, the purpose.
But it's not the same though. It's like this is what a lot of these people are missing. And maybe he'll get to it, whatever. But you know, yeah, you've seen plenty of limit up, limit down halts. That's because the stock went up or down too much in a short period of time. That happened. That happened today. Yes. But why did it happen today? Uh, you could look at reasons why it happened in other single stocks previously for whatever reason. A lot of people bought it at the market price and it pushed the price up. Okay. But why did it happen today on so many stocks? That's really the question. And the NYSE is not going to tell you they don't know. They've already said there was a problem with some system malfunction that resulted in an opening auction print being missing for these stocks. So we know why. We don't know why that happened, but why does any malfunction happen? Malfunctions happen.
The reason
That's the nature of machines. They work great until they don't work, in which case they can be destructive and disastrous. That's not anything new. That's the same with a steam locomotive. If a steam locomotive works, it was revolutionary. But when the boiler exploded, that was kind of a problem. Okay? But anyway, does he know that NYSE is a publicly traded company you can buy shares in? I don't know. Dave Lauer mentioned that though. Just to bring Dave Lauer back into this thing. Unblock me, Dave. We're on the same fucking side. You're just lying to the apes, though. You know, you were stringing them along for a while. Right? Anyway, yeah, ice. Um, and you know, here's a question. No rational answer, but does it the stock market or the exchanges like the NYSE and the NASDAQ, they are publicly traded, as Lynn is saying here. The ICE, Intercontinental Exchange, is a ticker for the NYSE. It's the owner, parent, whatever, of the exchange. You can buy shares in the exchange. The exchange is a for-profit, publicly traded company. Okay. They're also it is the market. It's the stock market. And you know, it's under the regulatory auspices of the SEC and FINRA. However, who makes the rules for the exchange itself? Who actually makes the NYSE rules? And the answer is the NYSE. They are self-regulating. And Dave Lauer had mentioned that he sees that this is the only industry where a for-profit publicly traded entity, in other words, a for-profit business, market is a for-profit business, not in terms of trading, although it is, but in terms of ownership and capital investment and appreciation. The only industry where the actual businesses, the participant, the company itself makes the rules as well. And that's you know, how can you argue with that? Yeah, it's a little bit fucked up. It sounds terrible on a surface. So here's a for-profit business that not only are they for-profit, they're publicly traded. and they serve as some sort of de facto public utility. De facto, not literally, but it's the market. That's the only market. I'm sorry. It's not the only market, but stocks are listed on either the New York or the NASDAQ. So, national market system stocks. So, in a way, it functions that way. It's not like you can go trade Apple on Joe Blow's exchange. It has to be on that exchange. So, anyway, just another interesting thing that Dave Lauer said. Lynn made a few bucks on ICE back when. Don't talk about selling drugs here, Lynn. If you can, just save that for Telegram. Oh, you mean, oh, oh, okay.
Why that happened in a more than one ticker symbol. It's not just AMC only. This verifies exactly what I've been telling you guys about the idea that this is not only done against AMC or GME. This is
done against. Well, was GameStop on the list? Was GameStop on the list, by the way? Let's see. Let's find out. Let's see if GameStop matters here. Where is it? I know that there's a is it this? There's just no way they have all of them on here. No. Oh, do they? No, they do. Oh boy. Oh, they do have them all in there. All right. GNS. I searched for GME, fuckers. Come on. 1030. No. Nope. GameStop was not on the oh. So GameStop wasn't on the list. I mean, what's his face? What's his fuck said that they were all the stocks that were the highest risk. Al from fuck. Yeah, didn't he? Yeah, the highest ones like, Walmart and everything. So, where's GameStop today? It's not important enough to get halted, I guess. Well, there's AMC today at 9:30 and 16 seconds. Well, I'll be damned. I'll be damned. How about that?
What's up, guys? Welcome
Anyway, oh.
for the entire market.
Oh, he's not even
So
trying.
there was
He's phoning it in from bed.
Of tickers that were glitched out or halted out. And when you put those things together, there's no way somebody will tell you like the criminal is never going to come out unless you bust them. They're never going to come out and say, I did this. This is what really happened. We just wanted to steal. Obviously, they want to keep it hush-hush, and that's why it happened the way it did.
This guy sucks. I can't stand this guy. I can't stand everything about him. From his eyebrows, his voice, his fucking teeth. I can't stand anything. And well, of course, what he says. That's the big thing. But, I can't stand it. I can't do it. This guy's terrible. He's such a gaslighter, such a manipulator. No. Oh. What's up, man? It's Frankie.
What's up? This Frankie, man. Let me say I'm not a financial advisor. Anything that I
got a little mustache going on there. Is that new? Have I seen Frankie with a mustache before?
say in these videos for entertainment purposes only. Whatever I say in this video is my opinion, may not necessarily be factual. Don't buy, sell, or hold a stock because of anything that I say in this video. Man, I decided to
getting there, Model 3 dude.
So check
getting
this
there.
Out. We're about to
might as well go to midnight now.
That we should
9 minutes.
In my opinion, 2 years ago. Or at least a year and a half ago. We tried to do it, we wasn't successful, man, but now it looks like it's gonna really pop off and there's a protest. We should have did it, man, a long time ago. And the protest is gonna be January the 27th, January the 28th, 2023, this weekend, and it's gonna take place at the
this weekend
SEC offices.
This is gonna,
saying?
By the way,
with the main focus.
This is gonna be a shit show. Man, I hope that Shadow Stars is able to make it. Yeah, the 15 seconds of the song. Now that they copyright check it, fuckers. But I really hope that Shadow Stars can get out to that one in DC so we can have a remote report from it. I'll have to find some way to monitor this from here. Like, I don't know. I I mean, in DC, there's cameras everywhere. There's webcams, and you can, like, a lot of them you can pull up and stuff. So I may have to find where the SEC office is and see if I can get a camera nearby, or set up a Google alert on news so that I get a notification if there's any news about it or anything like that. Because I have a feeling it's going to be a shit show. Shadow going to the protest, be our man on the ground. He said because he lives near DC, Maryland, DC area, that he may go. So yeah, he might. That would be pretty cool. They finally put him in prison. SBF? I don't know who we're talking about, but probably deserves to be. Drone. A drone would be good, but not in DC. You're not going to fly a drone there. I would say you probably wouldn't be able to do it anywhere near any of these. Oh, prison. Frankie. That kind of looks like it, doesn't it? Um, but yeah, a drone's a good idea, but I think that would be tough because of the flight restrictions. And not just that you wouldn't want to fly it. Most drones, well, any drone with GPS that's a decent drone, it's not going to physically allow you to fly it there. Like when I lived by the airport, my friend brought his drone over, nice drone, $2,000 drone. Let's fly the drone, Scott. Okay, fired it up. It wouldn't let us fly it. That's Big Brother.
Was on the office
Drones
in
attract
SEC
cats.
in Washington D.C. And the reason why we're having the protest is really out of self-preservation, simply because of the fact that we're tired of our money being stolen, and we're tired of the corruption that's going on in the stock market. That's the reason why we're doing the protest. You see what I'm saying?
I'm not watching this whole video, but he's talking about a protest. Okay.
A lot of people feel like
Also, a lot of people feel like want to hear that. These guys, this guy, a lot of these guys, they are drones. They are drones. Like the or the didgeridoo. No, they're not that cool. They're a drone. They're like the drone on the bagpipes. Same fucking message. Broken record. Drone. And not in a good way, like what do you call that? Mantra. Like the bad kind. Like shut up. I love having my money stolen. Apes have no sense of humor at all. Learn how to steal it back, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I mean, and if you can't steal it back on this stock, pick another one of the 7,999 stocks. And maybe not one that's like less than $2 in price. I don't know. Like, buy some Tesla. Like, I don't know. Buy some Apple.
difficult
Not Bed Bath and Beyond.
for us to be able to make money due to corruption in the stock market. And see, there's a possibility.
Hey, there you go, right there. Like, you're not able to make money because of corruption in the stock market. Well, then you suck at trading. You need to study more. Like, that's not the reason why you're not making money. Period. It's just not. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense. IBM. Now, Maverick said that IBM's probably going to pull back after earnings. Now, I don't know. I haven't looked at IBM lately. I lost money on that last year because somebody told me to buy it. I'm just kidding. I did.
Ability that a lot of people feel like over the past 2 years, as far as AMC and as far as retail investors being invested in the different meme stocks, we've lost billions of dollars just trying
Whose
to
fault
trade.
is that?
And we've been pleading with the SEC to do something about it and the other regulatory bodies or regulatory agencies, and they won't do nothing. We can't get no type of help and no type of assistance. And it seems like if you're a billionaire hedge fund or if you're a billionaire short seller, you don't have to adhere to any type of regulation.
What?
See, that seems like that's the way things are going. And let's say,
Yeah. Well, let's have you switch places with fucking you know, whoever you want to say, you know, Ken Fisher or Ken Griffin or Ken Griffey or Ken Griffey Jr. And like let's see. Let's just see, if you say the same damn thing. I mean, yeah, you don't think that they do because you are an idiot. You are a moron. You are in a fucking cinder block room with one poster on the wall. Like, what do you know about what it's like to be a one percenter? You have no clue. You have no clue. That's like me saying, oh, it would be easy to be a pro basketball player. They don't have any problems in the world. They just get whatever they want. They don't have to work. Yeah, okay. That's ignorant, though, because it's not true. It's not true. There's no rules. There's no rules for the one percenters. Shut the fuck up, you ignorant motherfucker. I mean, come on, dude. Like, seriously.
So I
What an
started
idiot.
ZipTrader in 2018 with the goal.
Oh, whoa. He's leaving? Well, what's there's got to be some kind of catch here. He's starting something else or something like that. Let's see.
Exciting, digestible, and making research practical. And
He has been a bit of a clickbaiter. Not as bad as a lot of the other ones, but remember Ooga Booga Ape? That was him. So he was definitely grifting on the apes, 100%. Now, I didn't hate him as much as I hated the other ones. And sometimes he had decent information, but at the end of the day, these guys talking about stocks on YouTube, giving recommendations and shit. No, that's not the way. That's not what you want to be doing. Let's see what he says,
fun
though.
to do. Firstly, I didn't like long and drawn out monotone content where you'd have some guy going with a chalkboard and saying, oh, this is support, this is resistance, and drawing trend lines for like 3 hours on a single stock.
Like Trey.
Short, zippy, 10-minute videos where we go over a bunch of different tickers, why they were moving, strategy ideas, and
interesting. That's also better for the YouTube algo and monetization.
And upcoming catalysts. Secondly, I wanted to produce quality content on stocks that actually move and have opportunity. Not just sit here every single day.
He's given up 600,000 subscribers. I don't know if I believe that.
500 and how you shouldn't take it out a single penny until you retire. Something most finance people advise while going and doing the exact opposite in their personal lives. I thought the everyday person should be given an opportunity to learn about strategies and exciting runs on stocks that, quite frankly, nobody wants you to learn about. If something can run, I want to cover it. I don't care what the risks are. We'll talk about them. But I'm not going to go ahead and say, oh, this is high risk, so we can never talk about it. I wanted to sit here and I wanted to say, hey, this is my thought process. This is why I think it can run, and these are the risks. If the risks make sense to you, do it. If they don't, then don't do it. But I'm not going to go ahead and shut the hell up because somebody's going to be upset that something's not the S&P 500. Thirdly, and building on that, I wanted to create content that was realistic, set people up with realistic expectations, covered the good and the bad. Building on that risk conversation, I don't like content that talks about high rewards but doesn't
By the way, it looks like he did okay. I mean, I've never seen him this well dressed. Nice watch too. So this is interesting. I don't know where this is going.
Constantly harp on the risk with those rewards. In the stock market and in life, you have to know that your reward is very, very proportional to the level of risk that you took to get that reward. Those who sit in the corner of their house under a blanket and do nothing.
But that also does not mean that if you take more risk that you will get a bigger reward. A lot of people are going to hear that wrong, what he said. A lot of people are going to hear, take more risk because you will be rewarded for it. And I'm just saying, it's like the apes believe. I don't know if they believe that they have taken a major risk. Or they understand the risk profile of what they're doing or what they say they're doing. But, yeah, I mean, no risk, no reward, sure. And Ken Griffin said, risk is what you make of it. But that doesn't mean to take blind risk. That doesn't mean that blind risk is going to reward you. That's all I'm saying. So, and I'm a risk taker. I have a high tolerance for risk usually, and I like the excitement of it because I live in Ohio. So, all you people in California are like even keeled, like, no, I'm very conservative with my investments. And I live in Ohio, where culturally it's the opposite. So I'm like, walking on a tightrope and shit here and trading naked options, same day expiration. Anyway.
All day, well, they have very, very little risk. Yeah, but they also have very, very little potential for reward. Fourthly, when I came onto the scene here on YouTube, I found content that was either very, very virtue signaling, where they just talked about the S&P 500 and how you can only invest into that. You got a dollar cost average until retirement, or content that was very, very flashy.
That's one strategy.
Material
it's
items.
not wrong.
Talk about strategy at all. So people that wanted to be excited by finance would gravitate towards the flashy lifestyle stuff and wouldn't get any actual value on how to trade, how to invest, how to learn about what is going on in the stock market, how to learn about the macro cycles, how to...
It's impossible to know what's going on in the stock market. I mean, I think. As Tom Sosnoff said, nobody knows anything.
Learn about this and that. I like nice things, you like nice things, but a bunch of fancy cars, fancy vacations, fancy houses, all that kind of stuff, it has nothing to do with the stock market. One should get into the stock market because they like the game of challenging themselves and growing. And of course, yes, that involves making money, but you don't have to go and talk about everything you make every second. In fact, one time I got a bit away from this back in 2020 when I bought this place. I posted a house tour video, and after I posted it, I felt really disgusted. Why? Because that wasn't the message that I wanted to send out into the world. That wasn't me. That content was not what I wanted to portray. So I went ahead and I took it down. Was that an overreaction? Maybe, but I don't want people watching and thinking about a lifestyle. I want people watching and thinking about the passion for this market, the passion for
probably a good idea,
business,
especially given what happened with AMC. Oh dear.
Whatever it is, I want people thinking about that, not about...
And by the way, who lives in places like that? I don't know, you California people. You it's whatever, but hey, I mean, shit. Again, I take you on a tour around here, and it looks like that. You can see out down the street, in the bathroom, but it's not because it's like that.
About some dumb material possessions, love houses, love watches, cars, all that kind of stuff, but they have no relation to the stock market. They are just icing on the cake if you can get them. Fifth, and most importantly, I wanted to create content that every single person who watched would have something very concrete to take away. I wanted everybody to come to this channel and get some sort of value, whether that's a new perspective, whether that's a trade idea, whether that's an understanding on some...
Is he going to say that he failed at all these things? Like, I don't know. He wanted this. I don't know.
Whether or not my opinions are right, I wanted people to think about their own opinions and formulate their own thoughts and be motivated to go out and do their own research. I want it to be a crucial tool on people's trading journey, on their stock market journey, on their life journey. Now, alongside all these goals, I also started this business to make money. I am a capitalist. I got into the stock market to make money, and I also got into this media business, which is really what the YouTube channel is, to make money as well. Aside from all the goals, which are provide value, I also, at the end of the day, know that nobody starts a business to lose money. They start a business because they want to make those holy dollars. But at the same time, the type of business they choose to start is how you judge what kind of value they want to provide to the world and what kind of impact they want to have. For me, building a financial media company is a lot more aligned with my values and goals and aspirations and worldview than working as another hog in an investment bank working on some random merger and acquisition. But folks, I will be the first to tell you that along this journey, I have made lots of mistakes, lots of them, but it means the world to me to have had the opportunity to reach so many hundreds of thousands of people, to create so much different content, both free and in our Zip Trader U program, to create our morning briefings and all of the research alongside that, to talk with so many different people over the last 3, 4, 5 years. It means the world to me to have had this opportunity, and I've met a lot of you in person. It's actually pretty crazy. When I was in Paris last year, I went into a gelato place, and the guy in the gelato place was like, "Hey, Charlie, I know you, ravishing." And I thought, okay, this is crazy. I'm in Paris, halfway across the world, and someone knows me here? What the hell? And I have to be thankful to every single one of our Zip Trader subscribers, viewers, Zip Trader U members, all of the different sponsors that we've worked with, and our co-producer Damien, who has been working with us since the beginning of 2021 behind the scenes. But there are times in life where we have to check ourselves, and we have to go back to the drawing board and make sure that we are on the right path. And as the market has tanked, it has caused many of us to revisit and reflect greatly on ourselves.
Yeah, where's this thing going?
And I am no different. After years of working my shiny little Charlie butt off to build this, I took most of 2022 as an opportunity to go and take the foot off the pedal a bit, to go a little bit slower. Instead of essentially working from 5 a.m. to dinner time and thinking only about work, well, I started making time for the gym. I started making time for social events and going and spending time with family, different vacations.
Started having sex.
To eat. I started getting out of the house and getting sunlight.
I couldn't help
I started listening to
help myself.
Content. I started listening to more philosophy. I started thinking and pondering about the purpose of life and how to be more present in it.
Now he's a Marxist.
After about a normal day's worth of work, I would go every single day and hike up to Runyon Canyon in LA with a podcast on, and I would learn new material about things that had nothing to do with the stock market, things that I hoped would make me a better person.
Learn the stock market was
I lost about 40
silly.
pounds. I recovered a lot of problems I had with my health. I used to have a lot of heartburn. I used to have a lot of headaches. I used to be
me too. I take Nexium.
I was so stressed out.
Exactly. Model 3 dude.
More and more.
That's what I was thinking.
10 or 11 months of doing this and starting to push it to the extreme, I started to notice a few things were changing in my personality. By relaxing and telling myself to focus on the here and now, I found that I was no longer motivated by the everyday tasks that I had to do every day, by the things that I could accomplish.
So he got rich and now he doesn't want to work. That's what I'm hearing.
Down the road, I found that I had to battle constantly with feelings of laziness and distraction. So I realized that,
welcome to adulthood, bro. I mean, what? What is he like? These people, these people, man. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't battle feelings of laziness. But what I want to do versus what what I'm going to do and quote unquote need to do, they're not always the same thing, but that's life. I don't know. I don't know.
With most things.
I guess if you are a really successful, 600,000 subscriber YouTuber with a, subscription trading group or whatever the hell thing that people can pay you money for every month. People literally just pay you money every month. I don't know. I guess, yeah, I guess I could see how you would get lazy. You would, I don't know. Whatever.
In life, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If I work really, really, really hard, there's a lot of negative impacts with that. Lots of negative side effects. If I don't work at all, or if I work what I call not working at all, which is like a normal schedule, then guess what? That's also very, very bad because then you have all this extra time where you're just kind of feeling pointless. So I thought about this a lot and I came up with the perfect analogy that explains what's going on here. Imagine you are a ship sailing out in rough waters on a long, long voyage to a beautiful destination that you really want to get to. You may need to dock at many ports along the way to go out on the seas or sit at the out of balance for. He'll be forgotten soon, and who cares? There's plenty of more memorable people out there. In fact, the Charlie from Charlie Bit My Finger will always be the more impactful Charlie. At least he had the balls to bite that finger. Folks, I want people to say that that Charlie guy, he was a massive earthquake, and he built something brick by brick that inspires tons and tons and
brick by brick.
I want people to say,
people are going to throw the GameStop Ryan Cohen reference
to be made so much better as a result. One day I want to look ahead and put a link to contact with you. I need a way to provide you with this new research and this new value.
Wait, what?
That comes into contact with us to be made so much better as a result. One day I want to look at the next depressed and
he's starting a cult.
Lonely 15-year-old kid who just lost his mom to cancer and be inspired like the 15-year-old Charlie was by the stories of others. And in order to do that, folks, we must leave the comfort zone of only being on YouTube. And yes, that is what the title of this video is all about. For the first stage of this, though, I do need your help. I need a way to be in contact with you. I need a way to provide you with this new research and this new value that we're going to be rolling out in the coming weeks and months. And in order to do that, I need your email. I've gone ahead and put a link to subscribe to our email list down below and unlock our free research reports that will soon start being sent out on a weekly basis to our subscribers. I promise the emails will only contain content that provide value, and if you don't like them, you could easily unsubscribe at any point. But if you have found value in the videos on our channel, I guarantee you will find value in these free emails. Now, moving on, final point. How are we going to pay for it? As you might imagine, this process of expansion is going to be very, very expensive. It's going to cost a lot of money to provide the next level of products and services and websites and research.
So he's
information that aligns with our goals. And all of this is going to happen when I believe we are heading into a massive, massive macroeconomic crisis. But I believe there's no better time than now to do this and make these investments, because when everybody's being defensive and everybody's yelling to stay at home and people are saying, don't go out and build anything because we need to wait, well, that is the time that you got to strike. That is the time you got to build. Some of the most successful companies in history struck the hardest and actually were built when you were in some of the worst macroeconomic crises in history. A few examples: Ford, GM, Disney, Visa, Microsoft, Airbnb, WhatsApp, Instagram, Venmo, Groupon, Uber, Pinterest, Slack, and Square, all companies that people thought at the time should simply wait until the macroeconomic environment gets better. Right now, a lot of people have taken their chips off the table and they're like, okay, that stock market thing, that stock market media thing, that YouTube thing, hey, it is not a good idea to build on those right now. Let's wait until the bull market comes back. Whereas we are going to go guns blaring now, and we're going to be ready for when that bull market comes back roaring as Zip Trader's cost of operations scale up in order.
We have an amazing opportunity for you guys tonight. You're going to want to hear this.
For us to eventually
get in here, camera guy. Are you getting that?
Compete with much bigger finance companies, well, we are going to need a lot of capital to manage such a big budget. So like most startup companies, we need to raise a lot of capital, and it's going to be very, very difficult to do it. And my goal
need money.
Really 12 to 18 months is to raise as much capital as possible. And aside from investments of Charlie Bucks, how are we going to raise
Charlie Bucks?
A few examples: HKD, ATNF.
Oh my gosh.
I think you're going to see a lot of briefing runners in the next couple of weeks. But plug aside, we will grow our revenue streams by communicating very, very clearly the benefit of having pre-market research, of showing up every single day before they join us. Number two, we're going to
all right.
Insane levels of free content for people that don't have the money to join us or aren't that invested in the stock market yet and kind of want to work with us for months or years before they join us. Number two, we're going to have a new educational program and briefing specifically for options. This will be headed by our co-producer. There are a bunch of opportunities in both bull and bear markets, and option traders are some of the best primed for that. Number three, we're going to try to do one sponsorship on each video as frequently as possible.
Sponsorship.
Turn down a lot of different sponsorships because
oh man, this keeps getting worse.
Didn't want to over monetize, right? But one sponsorship in a video is no big.
I liked when he was quitting YouTube better. Now he's starting a media empire. But I liked it before when he was just leaving.
Deal, especially for providing increased level of value on top of what we're already doing. And of course, I mean, if you don't like the sponsor.
Value. How many times has he said value in this video too, by the way?
But of course, I don't want to over monetize. That is not a cool thing to do. What we're going to be doing is if we have sponsorships, we will have less YouTube ads in the videos. And you can't skip through YouTube ads, but you can skip through the...
Oh, you can? You can't?
Awareness campaign. So one of the main revenue...
Oh, Charlie. You might be rich. You might live in a fancy house. But you still watch YouTube ads? What is wrong with you, son?
Drivers of a lot of financial media companies, especially bigger ones, not so much on YouTube, although a couple of YouTubers are doing it. But
I may live in Ohio, and I might not be rich, but I sure as fuck don't watch
massive big media companies take what are called awareness campaigns. In the past, I've yelled about
I
how
can't talk about that. I'll get
when
banned.
go and they'll talk about a stock, they'll say buy, buy, buy. And guess what? Behind the scenes, they're getting paid to say that, and they're not disclosing it. Now that is illegal, and it's obviously very, very unethical. In an awareness campaign, you are selling a certain part of the video as an ad space like you would do any other sponsorship, and you are clearly and loudly disclosing that it's a sponsorship. And the sponsorship itself is, of course, not a recommendation to buy or sell. It's simply just an overview like you would have on any sort of sponsorship. And of course, these won't be a large portion of any video, and it will be clearly disclosed, and we'll even put massive disclaimers in the description, which you legally have to do anyways. And finally, number 5, we are going to make extremely
Oh shoot, I didn't mean to be showing that. Oh my god.
If we aren't providing aggressive
Whoops.
value that nobody else
Whoops.
is. So we are going to have to step our game up a lot to be as aggressive as possible to provide you with everything that makes you keep coming back here. That
I have to poke the bear.
That means great macro breakdowns. That means short, sweet,
because I am a bear.
On everything that you need to know about the current day-to-day market.
It's only fair.
On YouTube, we're going to start doing that on our email list that we're building out right now. Link down below. Remember, unlock those reports. They're going to start coming once a week, starting in a few weeks. We're going to build out a website where you're going to be able to find different reports and different information that's going to have different authors, slowly rolling out more and more content that's going to help you take your trading and your investing and your stock market participation.
Oh my
to the
god.
next level. All of these things are going to be extremely, extremely exciting, and I can't do it without you. We can't do it without you. It sounds cliche, but it's freaking true. This business would not be a thing if it wasn't for you, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, and I will do everything in my power.
Okay, so this went from philosophical diatribe to infomercial real quick. Please don't leave. He's not leaving. Come on. He's not leaving. He's just going to be charging more. That's that. Did a digital equivalent of a curse chain letter. It wants to do a startup business with your money, but not with his own money. That's the best way to do it, Tony. You know, you don't spend your money. You spend other people's money. OPM, baby. He's following the Meet Kevin playbook. That's right. Hans Charlie. Oh my. Other people's money, you know. That's I forget where I heard that or where I learned that, but you know that was I can't remember the exact saying, but it's something like that's what's the difference between rich people and poor people. Rich people figured out how to spend other people's money or something like that, you know. Wow, look, hey, we're in the search results there. Look at that. We're number 3 in the search results, ordered by upload date. Oh yeah, right. Crap, I forget his name. Oh, it's like something like Tom Lee or something like that. Not Tom Lee. It's Badback knows, but I don't think he's here. Let's see. That would be a good one to play. Tom Vu. Tom Vu. That would be a good one to play us out. Play us out. What do you mean, play us out? I don't know what that means. Whoop.
The money making system is you don't have to quit your job. I can show you how to start out part-time. And when you make enough money in real estate, you can decide whether to keep your job or you can come back and tell your boss goodbye.
I mean, not that far off. I mean, here's the testimonials, and then we'll kick the song.
Welcome to Secrets of Success.
Wow, I want to be successful. Wow. Oh my gosh. I think I'm in love.
Relax and enjoy the good life that could be yours.
Smoking.
I hope when you're done watching me and this exciting program, you too will make a commitment to achieve all the success you ever dream about.
My name is Marty Friedman, and I'm
Marty Friedman. Marty Friedman. Mr. Friedman needed Tom Vu in order to get rich. Can you believe that? With a name like Friedman, I don't believe it.
I'm an engineer, and I have found out that working for someone else will not guarantee job security or your financial independence. I have taken the Tom Vu seminar, and using his techniques, I have done many deals and have accumulated over $100,000 in profit. You can do it too. Take the course now. Come and see Tom.
You know,
the knowledge you will learn at my seminar.
Was that a
seminar? And using his techniques, I have done many deals and have accumulated over $100,000 in profits. You can do it too. Take the course now. Come and see Tom Vu.
You can do it too. Take the course now. Come see Tom Vu. Badass. I wonder where this guy is now. Retired from real estate and lives in Las Vegas, Nevada. Professional poker career. He won almost $2 million, more than 1.975 million in casino poker tournaments. Texas Hold'em. Oh man, this guy, he's just a winner all around. He's like Ron Swanson. All right.
You will learn at my seminar will make you financially independent for the rest of your life.
Yes, that's what I like.
Transactions, I walked away with a check for $15,010.50. I took the Tom Vu Profit Seminar. It has worked for me.
These are good times. Roll another blunt.
You.
Nice. Nice.
You don't have to ask the boss for a raise anymore.
All right. Hey, good stream. Thanks everybody for being here.
I bought this house, made $33,000.
Nice house.
If I can apply the Tom Vu techniques and make $33,000 on this house.
33.
The money-making strategy.
Oh look, they're rolling the bones.
For those of you who work hard but are underpaid.
Good night, guys. Catch you later. Don't get caught by the next halt. $12,000. The next crime.
You don't need to be a genius to learn how to make a lot of money with my system. A lot of my students who are average people make a lot of money. Why not you?